And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world if you're not locked down, tight like a jar you can't open. But I'm glad you're right here with me tonight. There's a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over regular media, social media, everywhere. I'm not really sure where to begin. Have you guys seen the so-called protesters in Seattle, Washington get hit by the car and sent up in the air flying like rag dolls? I mean, that was crazy. But what else do you expect when you're on the road at 1:30 in the morning? It's pitch black, no lights, nobody can see you, just hanging out. Oh, we blocked the road. Well, you didn't get the police to do it for you. You just put something up and hope that nobody came. That's your fault for being out there. How about don't do that? How about just, do things that make sense rather than things that don't make any sense? Oh, and before I continue, happy Independence Day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your day. Hopefully I didn't interrupt your day at all, but, and hopefully you're enjoying your day and not letting the outside noise get to you. Oh, it's racist. You can't enjoy Independence Day. Do whatever you want. This is your day. You're an American. You earned it. We'll talk about all of that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, I thank y'all for being here. Happy Independence Day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your day. Do whatever you want. Hamburger, hot dogs, hanging out, barbecuing, fishing, chilling, whatever you want to do is your day. You earned it because you're an American. You're entitled to it because you're an American. There's very few things that I feel like people just are entitled to. Little benefits, little treats. But the 4th of July is yours because we're all Americans. It's something that is given to us because this is our country. It belongs to all of us. That's one thing that's the common is the country belonging to us. If you're a citizen, it's yours. I never really heard so much about, the 4th of July being racist. I never heard so much about that up until right now. But you know what? I'm not surprised at all. I figured it'd be this way because we have an election coming up. And it's really important for those that are, in the middle of an election to try and win and do anything they can to win. The left, they're pretty much doing whatever is clever to try and make this whole thing happen. They're trying. But ultimately, it's not going to work. Now, they may destroy quite a few cities or portions of cities in the meantime, in between time, unfortunately. But the problem with those cities that are being affected right now is leadership in the cities. They are allowing the city to pretty much fall by the wayside. Now, in Seattle, Washington, why was this little commune or whatever they want to call it on the interstate not broken up? And what was the purpose of them being right there at 1:30 in the morning? For what? What are you even doing out there on the actual road itself? Talking about, oh, we got barricades. Barricades? What do you mean barricades? You have a couple of cars that are just turned off, parked perpendicular to the road. Like, that's not going to really stop anything. It's not even totally across the road. And what if he would have crashed into the actual car because he didn't see it because it's nighttime and you can't see, and he ends up dying, or he crashes through, ejects from the windshield. You got all kind of glass flying. The car might go flying and hit people in the crowd. I mean, there was no real thought process brought into the whole thing. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll back up a little bit here and give you a brief explanation. And Seattle, Washington, you guys may know it as Seattle, Washington. There was some kind of protest. I feel like there's a protest. Before I get into it, I feel like there's a protest every single day. All right. It's a brand new protest about something, about some kind of racial grievance, about some kind of intolerant thing. Every single day is something new. Okay. Black Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter, LGBTQ, ABCDFG awareness, dog awareness, cat awareness, goldfish awareness, all kind of stuff. This most recent so-called protest was for Black femmes. I have no idea what that means. Are we talking about feminine boys, like as in males, not boys like underage? Hopefully not. I'm talking about like feminine gay men, or are we talking about feminine lesbian women? I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. I'm too old to follow all the terms that these cool kids got coming out nowadays. It's like trying to keep up. It's like trying to keep up with the latest TikTok dances. The so-called protests and grievances are the equivalent to brand new TikTok dances. It's a new one. It's like, okay, how you do the moves of that one? What's this one called? You know, I don't. But anyway, Black Femme March. That's what it was. And this is at 1:30 in the morning. What are you even doing? And nobody was marching. They were just pretty much sitting on the ground, hanging out. And I'm like, all right, what is the actual purpose of what we're doing here? It was just kind of strange. So they're on the interstate, hanging out, chilling, and they have their cars on the road perpendicular to the road, trying to block it. And apparently they had blocked kind of a on-ramp, right? And when they did that, they thought that it was a wrap. They had it secured, but they did not have it secured. It was not secure at all. And as a result, somebody got on the interstate and drove at normal interstate speed. And they come upon this, little blockade in the road, the roadblock, like it's Mad Max, some other kind of dystopian future type movie or video game. So they're trying to swerve to avoid it. And as they swerve to avoid it, they go around and see the opening they can just go through. But much to his surprise, unfortunately, there were people right there in the opening. And then they're just going to sit there like a deer in the headlights, waiting to get hit. And then boom, 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 boom. They flying up in the air, ragdoll, PlayStation 4 effect. You understand? Like Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, you kill somebody and then the body just go. It was crazy. You talking about Grand Theft Auto? I never seen bodies fly like that. Now, luckily, as far as I know, nobody died. I think one person was critically injured and has life-threatening injuries. The other person is just seriously injured. But, I mean, the grace of God was on their side if they don't mess around and die because, talking about a serious impact, I'm talking about bam. The impact just sent them flying up in the air and then they hit the ground. It wasn't no grass, no dirt, no nothing. You're talking about straight asphalt. They couldn't even get some gravel. At least some gravel rather than just straight ground. I'm talking about straight ground, rock, bedrock, dirt with, it could have been fresh tar too. It was crazy. So, what else could have happened in that situation? I was always told by my mom, dad, and everybody else, hey boy, don't go out in the street and play. All right, if you're going to cross the street, even the neighborhood street, look both ways. Make sure that you got a buddy or something like that if you're a little kid. They're going to be out there sitting on the ground on the interstate. Like, what type of sense does that make? Oh, we're taking over the interstate. Well, the interstate took you. How about that? I think what we learned here is that we shouldn't be sitting on the interstate. I think that we had pretty much learned that from the very beginning, from the time that we're little kids, to not get on the interstate. But apparently we don't really know that. And now we have learned a hard lesson. If you were in that bunch of people, do not get on the interstate. Don't try to do stuff like that. Okay, if you want to protest and you want to be on the road for some reason, talk to the local authorities, get a piece of road sanction, get it blocked off, get a security detail, get the police to escort you. You could actually have protests like that if you want to, set it up with the city and they'll help you out. They'll look out for you. But you just want to, put dumpsters and cones and stuff on an off ramp and then put two cars on the road on the interstate. You got to be smoking crack. You got to be getting high. 1000%. Okay. But thank you all for being here. This podcast will be available on audio streaming platforms. Whatever one you're on, it should be there. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher. We're pretty much everywhere. Anchor, of course, as well. There's a link for my podcast, this podcast, in the description box. And from the link, you can go to all the other ones or just search in your particular podcast platform for whatever you want. And if you're listening to me on one of those audio streaming platforms, give me a 5-star rating, give me a thumbs up, give me a share, whatever you can do. And also, if you're right now on YouTube's, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and do that. And when you subscribe, click that bell as well. When you click the bell, you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Alrighty. But yeah, so the driver of the vehicle out there in Seattle, they hit the people that were occupying. I'm about to call them pedestrians, and not pedestrian. If a pedestrian is somebody that is, not in the middle of the road. Okay, do you call a person that's walking in the center of the highway a pedestrian? What do you really call that? Okay, I'm thinking a pedestrian be somebody that's walking on the sidewalk or on the side of the road, not in the actual traffic lane. But anyway, they hit some people that were on the street and they shouldn't have been there. That person got arrested. I'm not sure for what. They're talking about hit and run, but he didn't really want to run. He stopped after he hit the people. He did stop. If it was a hit and run, he would have just sped off. I'm talking about plowed right through him and kept going. When the person hit the car and rode up on the hood, they could have went over the car, landed in the trunk or whatever. He would have kept on going, but he didn't do that. As soon as he hit him, he stopped. But the people tried to come attack him. So he had to go ahead and keep on rolling because now your life is in danger. All right. I want to make sure that whoever got hit is all right. But at the same time, I got to take care of myself as well. So I'm going to keep on going and keep on rocking and rolling. So they did arrest him. I'm not sure what he'll be charged with. He shouldn't actually be charged, really, because it's not even his fault that happened. I don't know if he was going the wrong way or whatever, but it's not his fault that happened. They shouldn't have been on the road. As simple as that. It was funny to see people on Twitter reacting, some of these so-called verified accounts, talking about this is a targeted attack, white supremacist attack, and then they found out the driver was black. It's like, oh no, we can't talk about white supremacist attack. And the even funnier part is that this was a so-called Black Femme March, but I was struggling to see anybody black out there. It might have been a handful of black people, but for the most part, you had some Asians, some whites. It wasn't even this whole black thing. And speaking of Black Lives Matter protests with no black people, there was also one in Provo, Utah. I can't play it here because it involves somebody shooting, but it's on my Instagram page. If you want to check it out, go to Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN. But on this particular video, you see a so-called BLM protest in Provo, Utah. Now, I don't know anything about Utah, but I'm willing to guess that Provo, Utah is not some kind of high black population area. I'm just guessing, I'm just going off the cuff, just thinking, kind of verbalizing. It's probably not a very high black area. So for some reason, there was a BLM protest in Provo, Utah. And if it was one black person there, I'd be totally surprised. Okay. I saw a sea of white people that were protesting because they're triggered and they got this white guilt going on. But anyway, they call themselves protesting by blocking the road. I'm not really sure why that's like the method of choice of people to block the interstate. I don't really get it because people are being blocked that have nothing to do with anything. You're talking about just regular people that might be on your side. You blocking them from being able to get to work, to get to their kids. There have been examples of, people having to get to family members during an emergency, but couldn't because the road was blocked. There was one example from Richmond, Virginia, where firefighters EMS tried to get to a person that was in a house fire. It was a baby in the house fire too. And they had a hard time getting there. Luckily, they were able to get there through all the stuff. But what if they were just a split second too late and the baby dies in the fire because you're blocking the road? But anyway, they're blocking the road to and preventing this guy from being able to get through. He's trying to inch his way through just ever so slightly. And one of the so-called protesters, white guy out there in Provo, pulls a gun out and fires twice in the car. Now, I don't think anybody got hit in the car, but number one, some of his comrades out there, some of his compatriots, whatever he wants to call them, I don't know if he's communist or whatever, but anyway, some of his comrades out there could have got hit by the bullet because you firing kind of indiscriminately into the vehicle at point blank range. That bullet could have traveled through that particular window, through the, it probably was a driver's side window. It could have traveled through there, went through the from the passenger side to the driver's side, and then hit one of your people, or through the window, hit somebody inside. It could have been kids in there. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But the guy fired his gun into the actual car. He got locked up for it. White dude, Antifa type guy. Matter of fact, they found BLM stuff all on social media. At this particular point in time, if you have BLM propaganda on your social networks, you might get put on the watch list, because somebody like that may kind of go off the deep end. If they make kind of like threatening statements and they're talking about going to protests, that's like somebody that wants to join ISIS, in my humble opinion. It's the same kind of thing, all right? And it's not even a race-specific thing at this particular point in time. I feel like now you have more white members of BLM than black members. You have some black, but it's more of a white running thing, in my humble opinion. That's just kind of that's just how I'm seeing it. But it's not like there's somebody black there. But anyway, he has been arrested. There was another guy that was behind him with a big gun. The gun had to have been about this big. This man had one of them guns that if you shoot it, you need to have two hands on it, because the recoil is going to be ridiculous. Okay, a big old revolver, probably his great granddaddy's going to get from the basement and shined up, make it look real nice. But he had that gun pointed at the vehicle. So these people are getting armed now. And my question is, like, for what though? I'm just trying to get from point A to point B. Why are you blocking my car? What do you do? And then if I don't want to get blocked, you're going to pull a gun on me and shoot me? Two guns and potentially shoot me. You're gonna shoot my car up for not wanting to be blocked? How does this make any sense? I'm glad that some of these people are getting locked up and they are going to go through trial and get sent to the penitentiary. Some of these guys need some real penitentiary time. You're talking about Gitmo making big rocks into little rocks. That's what I want to see for some of these guys that are out here terrorizing just random innocent people. Leave people alone. Don't get in the road when I'm trying to drive. Don't block my car. Just stop. What do we even, at this particular point in time, the whole thing about George Floyd is not even relevant anymore. It's not about him at all anymore. It's about just trying to do whatever you want to do because nobody's going to stop you. It's about just being lawless in general. Okay, it's not even about a protest. If it was about a protest, then there'd be some kind of end game. There'd be something that you're working towards, but that's not really going on right now at all. But thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you guys. Happy Independence Day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed your day. Hopefully you got some good hamburgers, hot dogs, all that good stuff. And hopefully everything's good with your family. You know, I'm proud to be an American. Glad to be an American. This is the best country on planet Earth. I would never protest for 4th of July. They're talking about, the 4th is racist, hot dogs racist, hamburgers racist. It's like, man, I never really seen this as a kid coming up. Every 4th of July, or a lot of them, I go to family members' houses. You got, cookouts. 1/4 was great. It was a family reunion right around the same time. We had like this whole big thing of crabs. I mean, I don't know how many crabs are in this thing. It was like they just took a bucket into a crab pond and scooped every crab out of the pond and put it into this big metal tin. I'll never forget it. That was great 4th of July. You're talking about American stuff. You got steak, hamburgers, hot dogs, and then with us, you got the big thing of crab legs. You got your lemonade. The adults got their little beverages or whatever. It was great. That's, American stuff. That's one thing that unites us is being American, because regardless of what, if you black, white, whatever, everybody likes a hot dog or a hamburger for the most part, unless you're a vegan, but different story. Everybody likes hot dog, hamburgers, chicken too. These are some unifying things that we all enjoy as Americans. We have a lot of differences, a lot of division, but the 4th of July focuses on what makes us unique, what makes us united rather than what divides us. Okay, the NFL want to divide us, talking about Black National Anthem. Look, I'm not really worried about the Black National Anthem as a song. If people want to sing it, then that's fine. I'm not really, it's whatever. But the NFL trying to introduce it to fans and have to be before the regular national anthem, that's just showing division, because what's going to happen already. People are going to have different opinion about each song. That's going to spark division. It's not necessary to even do that. You created a problem when there was no problem. And your attempt, NFL, to be woke, you've created another problem. What's going to happen? The guys in the NFL talking about kneeling before the national anthem, right? Or during the national anthem. They're talking about kneeling. Now, what's going to happen, I guarantee you it'll happen. One guy or a bunch of guys or somewhere in between are going to not kneel for the black national anthem, but they will kneel for the American national anthem. Then it becomes a whole thing about black versus white or black versus being an American and separatist and all kind of stuff. All right. And we don't have any time for that. Really, honestly, all I want to do is just see a game. But they've put so many roadblocks in the way, it's making me not want to watch it at all. I've not really missed the NBA and the NFL, and I've really, really, really enjoyed the game of basketball. Football's kind of been falling off for me a little bit ever since it kind of got soft, and it's kind of like two-hand touch out there. But anyway, I really enjoy basketball. It's just a fun game. I just like it a lot. But I'm not trying to watch this little bubble they're going to have in Orlando and see guys with stuff like F12 on their jersey. Because, in the NBA, they're allowing their players to replace their name with a message for social justice. That's what they're going to do. So some guys are like, hey, you know what? My number is 12. That's always going to be there. What if I put the F word on top of that and say F12, which means F the police? So it's like, really? Is that what we're going to do? And I don't want to see anybody's name on there. Really, I'm not trying to see no RIP T-shirts in the NFL or the NBA. All right? You got enough of that in the hood. I don't want to see that in the NBA. Why can't I just not watch a game? And Washington Redskins, speaking about sports, I'll talk about that a little bit, and you'll see why I'm talking about it. The Washington Redskins are being forced to change their name. Let's be clear here. Dan Snyder owns the team, but they play at the FedEx Field in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But they play at the FedEx Field up there in that area of D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland. Now, FedEx came out and said that they should change the name. So if FedEx is saying change the name, if you got other sponsors that are starting to say change the name, if you got this big outcry from the BLM, George Soros sponsor movements, then it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to end up losing money to say behind the name. Now, personally, I never thought the Redskins was a bad name. I remember the Redskins and Cowboys rivalry, Cowboys and Indians. It was something you think about all the time. It was not really a big deal. And if you take away the Redskins name, that's going to be just the first ball to drop. What's going to be next? Then they're going to say, you still got the Cleveland Indians. They're still around. Chicago Blackhawks. The Florida State Seminoles? It's a lot of teams that are named after natives. And then the question is going to be, where's the line of demarcation between honoring natives and disrespecting them? I mean, Redskins, is that disrespectful? To some it might be. How about the Cleveland Indians? Is that disrespectful? I mean, they say that the caricature on the Cleveland Indians, their merchandise is disrespectful. Matter of fact, I think they changed that. Actually, I kind of been out of the loop. Let me see if they changed it. Yeah, they did change it. Yep. Okay. Now, here we go again. I just happened to search Cleveland Indians to see what the new logo is, and it did change it. It says Cleveland Indians to determine the best path forward for team name. Wow, really? Okay, so the Cleveland Indians, hold on, did they change the logo for real? Because I'm seeing just a big C. Yeah, they did change it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is show you the logo that I've known for a long time. Maybe that's still there. Maybe it's not. You guys know better than I am. Okay. Yeah, they did change it. All right. I'm gonna show you that one, and then I'm going to show you the new one so you can kind of see what's going on. All right. Let's pull that up. Let me just make sure it's set up the way I want it. And there we go. Let's put it on the screen. Okay, so that's the old Cleveland Indians logo. Oh, it's racist, disrespectful, this, that, and the third. Okay, so that was the first one. Now this is the new logo. Oh man, you're talking about. I'm so moved by the design. It's so spectacular. I mean, just a 2-color gradient with the stroke on the outside and the little, the little hook right there, a little serif on the top. That's excellent. Sports serif. Yay. It probably took some guy about 5 minutes to do that. That's their logo. My thing is, okay, you want to replace the previous logo, come up with something that's like along those same lines, something that's a little bit better. But maybe they had no choice because you're still talking about Indians. So I guess the Indian in general was racist. You could have a photorealistic representation of an Indian, or Native American, whatever you want to say, and then that's bad. So the only choice they have would be to just totally change the name altogether. And it's just kind of getting silly. But you know what? It's only for things that are non-white. Like you got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Did they change that? Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna see what their logo is. They got the Notre Dame. Now, is this logo? I'm gonna pull it up right quick. Let me see if it's still around. Now, here is a Notre Dame Fighting Irish logo. Now, is that still being used or no? Like, I just want to know, is that offensive? Conor McGregor is somewhere really upset and triggered right now at the Fighting Irish. And you know, the Irish were known for fighting a lot and getting into stuff. So that's their logo for Notre Dame. Is that racist? The colors and everything got the 3-leaf clover. That's funny. But is this? I'm just trying to figure out if it's racist or not. Like, where do we really stop with all the changing of logos and whatnot, changing of names? Do we say Fighting Irish anymore? Is that offensive? How about fighting rebels? Oh, you can't say rebels because you had the rebel flag. That's a Confederate flag, so that's not right. Rebels are only okay if they win. If rebels are only okay if they win, you understand? Because let's not forget, George Washington was a rebel. Yes, he was. And matter of fact, I'm gonna put it up right quick. This meme pretty much says it all. Hold on, let me see if I can get that the way I want it. And let's pull it up. There we go. Shout out to Iraq veteran 8888. You see it right here on the screen. You have George Washington looking like Stephen Crowder at the table. And it says, it's only treason if you lose. Change my mind. Isn't that what I said the other day? About how, you know, the Confederates, oh, they were traitors. They were traitors to the USA. Well, who was the first traitor? Because let's not forget, George Washington was working for the king. He was part of the Kingdom of Great Britain. He was in the military in the Kingdom of Great Britain. And then you had the American Revolution. They broke away from the Kingdom of Great Britain. And then they become the Union. All right. And then that's when the flag, which one? The flag behind me, well, really that one, that's when the flag behind me was born. Okay, the 13 star stripes, that's when it was born, 1776. All right. So it's only treason if you lose. I'm just saying, like, I'm just a consistent person. If it's about treason, let it be about treason. Like, let's get our actual reasoning behind the Confederate flag being wrong together and let that be consistent with other things. If I'm going to say I'm mad at that thing for one reason, I must be mad at other things for that same reason, or else I'm not really mad for that reason. I'm mad for a different reason that I'm excusing with this reason. Very simple. That's all. If you're going to say a thing, just be consistent no matter what, regardless of what. Yeah, Atlanta Braves, exactly, Santo Bartez. You got to get rid of the Atlanta Braves, Cleveland Indians, Quaker Oats, all that stuff. Okay, Minnesota Vikings. Oh, yeah, the Vikings, that's racist, too, because if you're from Sweden, Norway, Denmark, etc., then your ancestor was a Viking, and you can't be having a representation of a Viking on commercial products without getting paid or without having any kind of say-so, and you might not even want it there even if you were to have say-so, so that's offensive. Yep, video games that feature certain peoples, that's offensive, too. So, yeah, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up right quick. And I'm a Vikings fan, so I'm kind of mad that I got to get rid of the Vikings logo if that's considered to be racist. But maybe because Vikings are white, then it's not racist, I guess. All right, so, yeah, this logo is racist. I mean, whose mustache is that big? Why is his eyebrow so big and blonde? I mean, who has blonde hair looks like that? And you have this big, giant braid up under a helmet. You know, I'm just really offended. I'm triggered. And this is racist. You got to change it right now. Change everything right now. Take off Chef Boyardee, Uncle Ben, who else? Aunt Jemima. Take off everybody. Jolly Green Giant. I'm tall, so I'm going to say that to Jolly Green Giant too. How about that? All righty. Yeah, Mario and Luigi, take that off too. You know, they're Italian plumber stereotypes. I'm not a fan. All right. But thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening on an audio streaming platform, give me that good 5-star rating or whatever you can over there. I'd appreciate that as well. What else we got going on here? Oh, did you guys see the fight in Detroit between the two women where the pistol got pulled out? Now, the fight, in my humble opinion, was an open and shut case. You have a woman. Well, I'm going to back up a little bit so we can explain what's going on. And we just hit 4,000 concurrent viewers. Thank y'all for joining. Definitely appreciate you. Let's talk about the Detroit girl fight. Now, the fight happened because you have a mother, the black lady, with her, I think, 2 kids going to Chipotle. This is not in Detroit proper. This is like kind of far out there. I think it's called Orion Township, close to Auburn Hills. But anyway, they're going to Chipotle, and as they are entering the restaurant, a woman is exiting the restaurant with her food. Now, apparently, the woman and one of the white woman and one of the black woman's daughters collide, a bump or whatever. Now, I can't really say exactly what was going on before the camera started rolling, but that's generally what they say. It was a bump. And that's why there was a confrontation, because when the first camera started rolling, not when the pistol was out, not that point, but before that, where they're just having a discussion, quote unquote discussion or argument, you got the white lady getting screamed on by the mother and the daughter. And you know what? I'm going to pause right quick. Your kids watch you. They observe you. They're going to do what you do. So if you behaving belligerently, if you cannot control yourself, your kids be the same way. So, you know, that's like the old saying says, the apple does not fall from the tree. But anyway, they're double teaming the lady, and they're right in front of her where her car is. Lady's just trying to get her food and go. She don't want no problem. She don't want no actual issues, but they just keep pressing her. Apologize. You bumped her. Just that and the third. So they're cussing and cussing. You know, she's trying to leave. She's trying to go, and they have exchanging words. Lady gets into the car. The white lady did. She gets into the car. Now, the lady's with her husband, and I think it might be some other kids in the back, the white lady. And hold on right quick. Let me just see what's going on here. But she's in the car, and she's in the car. They're backing out of the parking spot, and then the black lady, still upset, I guess, is behind the car and begging on the car as they're trying to pull out and leave. Oh, you want to hit me? You want to hit me? So then at this point, okay, she's still cussing, still fussing, hitting the car, getting behind the car, kind of like not letting them leave when they're trying to leave. So now the lady gets out of the car, and mind you, she's pregnant, by the way, the white lady that is, she's pregnant, gets out of the car, pulled a pistol, and it's like, all right, what's up? Back the F up right now. Cock the pistol, cock the hammer, and she's ready to get rocking and rolling. And then you see the black lady pull out a camera and start rolling. That's where the first piece of footage that we saw started, when the pistol was like right there in the camera. All right. We didn't see all of what happened before, so we have no context. But now, since we saw the first video, we got all the context in the world. A little argument happened. The white lady was not trying to argue, trying to get into her car and leave. Black lady hopping behind the car for some reason, banging on the car. Then it becomes kind of an issue. The lady gets out the car with the pistol. It's like, okay, back up. And so his husband saying the same thing, back up, back the F up. Then they're trying to say, oh, the white lady was being racist towards the black lady and her kids. And the white lady and her husband got arrested talking about felonious assault. How was that felonious assault? You screaming on me, you cussing at me, I'm trying to leave. As I'm leaving, you get behind my car, you beating on my car. I want you to get away from me and away from my car and away from my kids. How about that? So now I'm pulling my pistol. Now the only thing would be, what are the laws in Michigan? Okay, can you draw in that situation? From what I'm reading, you can, because if you fear for your life, you feel like you're in danger, you can draw. All right. But they may have some legal issues as a result of that. Hopefully a lawyer steps up and says, you know what? Let's take this case head on, because we don't want to have any kind of issues. All right. We don't want to have these people get railroaded, sent up the river based upon a thing they really didn't do. trying to defend themselves from a belligerent person. Okay, but that whole thing was crazy. And I saw that clip for a while, the first clip, but I didn't say anything because I didn't know what the context was. But then once I got the context, it was all she wrote. I had everything I needed. And that's just pretty much how that goes. That's right, Joe. She was trying to leave. So it's like, all right, now I got to pull the gun because you're arguing, cussing and fussing, not letting me leave. Y'all will get out of my way right now. Y'all will back up right now that this pistol is out. And if you don't back up, it might be some problems. You know what? People are getting tired of being bullied and harassed out in public. That's kind of becoming popular to just harass people in some of these city areas. You could just beat on people, harass them. I've been sent all kind of videos from people from all different walks of life, black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, young, old, male, female, all kind of videos, people getting beat up, stomped down in cities. People are tired of it. It's like, all right, look, man, you're not going to just do whatever you want, carjack me, beat me up, stomp me down. I have my gun, and that's going to be that. And speaking of having your gun and protecting yourself, the couple in St. Louis, the McCloskeys, unfortunately, they had to board their house up, at least the bottom windows, because of constant threats from BLM and Antifa and everybody else. Legitimate death threats. The police turning back on them. They don't want to help. Private security don't want to help. And you wonder why people abandon the city. People that have money, they abandon the city. It's weird. You hear about this thing called white flight, right? Oh, white flight is bad when they go to the suburbs. But then when they come back, you treat them like garbage. And you also say that they're gentrifying. So it's like you can't win for losing. How about just get something on your own? Don't look to other people to bring money to you. Okay, you do something for yourself. If you're living in a bad situation, don't look to outside people to make your situation better, because when they do make it better, you're not going to like it. You used to live in kind of an impoverished environment and living in poverty type wages. But then when they come in, you got to up your game, step your game up. And you can't do that if you don't really want to push forward, if you're looking for the outside people to come and assist you. All right. So don't look for anybody to come in and rescue you, or for anybody to stay if you're not doing right. It takes a collective to make things go right. If you're left behind in a bad neighborhood, ask yourself, why did this happen to me? What's going on? So the McCloskeys had a very valiant thing they did. They come back into the city, urban pioneers, built this old property over like 30 something years, investing back into the city, big tax base, helping people out, doing work for a lot of their black clients, probably pro bono. They're doing all of that. And to get what? Treated like this. Even their own neighbors are writing letters against them and all kind of stuff. Talk about abandoning your own, not even caring for your neighbor. What kind of quality is that? I mean, if you are neighbors, if you're friends or whatever the case, and you see that people are being harassed or being targeted, band together. Don't just leave them out high and dry. That's terrible. Now, I don't know what can be done to support the McCloskeys. I have no idea. Maybe some people that live out there can volunteer to be some kind of private security or do something. They're out in St. Louis, in that general region. Hopefully they can be, given some assistance in that particular way. They were told to board up and leave because they're going to keep coming back and there's like legitimate death threats. So it's like, what are you really going to do? All right. But all I'm going to say is, to anybody that's out there, make sure you're armed. Make sure you have training with your weapon, because the McCloskeys, God bless them, they did not really have very good training, but they were armed. They protected themselves. It's better to be in a bad situation PR-wise rather than being pretty much high and dry with nobody to save you when the mob breaks in and does whatever they want to do to you. So it is what it is. Thank you to Jordan. I appreciate you. Happy 4th from London. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Nelly lives close by. But see, Nelly probably won't do anything for them. Nelly probably is on the side of Black Lives. Nelly probably be out there with the so-called protesters. If I lived in a neighborhood and I got neighbors having some issues, I got their back. That's just kind of how it works. That's how it works back in the country. Like I said before, in West Virginia, my grandma lives up there, and right across the street from my grandma, there's a white family, and some guys were on her porch putting their stuff on and try to break in the crib while grandma was home. And my neighbors opened their blinds up real wide so you could see them. And so people that were trying to break in could see him as well. You see what I'm saying? They got each other's back rather than just saying, oh, no, we don't want no problems or whatever. Now, granted, you got this whole big mob of people. That's more than 2 or 3 people, but still, it doesn't make a difference. If everybody bands together, everybody pulls together, then I think you'd be all right. Yeah, so it's really a shame. Yeah, they try to save the mansion, but they might end up losing the mansion. Yep. So thank y'all for being here. You guys are fantastic. What else I got going on? Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell. I'll speak about her right quick. Then I get the super chats. Ghislaine Maxwell, you know who that is. She is the so-called gal pal, the confidant, the friend to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell got locked up by the FBI finally. Fun fact here, there's a lot of corruption going on with this before I even get into her arrest. The details I'm not 100% clear on, but there was a guy that was blocking this whole thing from happening, from going forward, kind of dragging his feet. You guys know who that is. You're smarter than I am. But after he got fired, thanks to Trump and Billy Barr and everybody else, now she's been arrested. The FBI knew about her and her dealings with Epstein as it relates to their underage child trafficking ring since like 96. You're talking about 24 years and knowing about this and didn't do anything until right now in 2020. Now, my question would be, if not for the fact that Trump stepped in, Bill Barr stepped in, how long would it have been before she actually got arrested? 24 more years? I mean, who knows? But anyway, now, Ghislaine Maxwell was Jeffrey Epstein's confidant or whatever. Her role was to procure the women to get the, not women, to get the girls, the underage girls, to Jeffrey Epstein and for herself. She was a big part of the sex trafficking ring of underage girls. And it's been known for a very long time. Everybody knows about it. It was no secret. Now, the federal people, they found her in New Hampshire, if I'm not mistaken, in some kind of estate. They had she had $1 million estate that was purchased under LLC. So you couldn't really tell that it was her, but they found out where she was at. And then she retreated to a bedroom when they tried to come get her, trying to resist. But she did come out of the place where she was hiding at. And then she said, okay, I want a lawyer right away. Now, I think that this arrest happened out of New York City, and they may hold her in MCC. That's the same place that Jeffrey Epstein was held. And it's the same place where Jeffrey Epstein so-called killed himself, allegedly killed himself. All right. So my question, the biggest elephant in the room would be, how are they going to prevent Ghislaine Maxwell from killing herself? How are they going to stop that from happening? Are they going to put a GoPro in her room, strap it to her forehead like an ankle monitor so she can't take it off? Like, how are they going to prevent her from killing herself? It can't be no sheets, no blankets. It's got to be a totally blank room. And she got to put a helmet on so she can't bang her head in there, because I'm not trying to hear Ghislaine Maxwell killed herself in the cell. I don't want to hear it. Now, like I said in the video, I don't care if she dies. All right. If she dies, she dies. That's fine. I don't really care. I'm not going to be heartbroken. However, I will care because I want her to snitch. I'm seeing reports talking about, oh, she's ready to name names, ready to start dropping down. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Go ahead, name names, tell what you know. I want to hear about Slick Willie, Prince Andrew. I want to hear everything that you know. Okay, let's unravel this whole ring. She's probably been arrested not only because of her role in the sex trafficking operation, but also because of who she knows. You're talking about heads of state, royalty. I mean, big people, sultans and stuff over Middle East. You're talking about some really big people. All right. I think some of the biggest ones would be Slick Willie. They're trying to talk about Donald Trump, but Trump already said that Epstein was at Mar-a-Lago doing some things he shouldn't have been doing or trying to do something, and he was kicked out. He was disgusted with him. That was a long time ago, and it was on record back then. So, and Epstein's already been in jail for being a pedophile, but the problem is that when he got locked up the first time, he got like a real slap on the wrist type thing. He got work release to the point where he was able to go home and just live like normal and fly on his plane still to the island. It was crazy. But he was in jail again or in a federal holding center to actually go to the penitentiary, to the federal penitentiary. Then he so-called kills himself. It's all kind of rumors out there where Epstein is talking about he's in Israel right now. He's an escape artist. He's an illusionist. He didn't really die. The biggest one, obviously, is that he did not kill himself. Somebody killed him. There was so many things that went wrong. The cameras didn't work. The guards were sleeping. Online shopping on Amazon. Just all kind of just things that didn't make any sense. He was on suicide watch. Then he was off suicide watch. Then he kills himself. Just stupid stuff. So there were so many things that happened in the Epstein case that it doesn't really make any sense to think that it can't happen here. Like I said, put a GoPro on her forehead, like screw it into her forehead so you can't take it off, or put it in the room, hide some cameras, do something. Okay, get some like private security to work with the guards in the penitentiary, because it's a high chance that she dies mysteriously. All right, really high chance. But I can't wait until she starts snitching. That's what I want to see, 1,000%. All right. Now I saw one of the victims testify on TV. I'm not sure what her name was. She had with the anonymous thing going on. But she said that Ghislaine Maxwell was involved with the rape. Like really, really brutal stuff. It's hard to listen to. And you're talking about kids here, underage, 13, 14. So, yeah, she's going away for a long time. But beyond just her going away, they could kill her today. Like, really, once you get what you need from her, you can go ahead and kill her. I mean, if that's what they want to do, if that's the sentence, then I'm not really going to be butthurt about that. But anyway, I want to know more, not just about Ghislaine Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein. I want to hear about everybody. Tell every name, say everything. All right, simple as that. But thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up, share the video, do all that good stuff. All right, hold on. Patricia Gavel says after bar fire attorney Jeffrey Berman, she was arrested. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for right there. So, Bill Barr had to come in, Trump had to come in and make this whole thing happen. If it were Hillary Clinton in there, also an Epstein friend and a Ghislaine Maxwell friend, would it have happened? But she was 24 years just out there doing whatever she wanted to do. So what was going to be the end result here? All right. I'm talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell, that was Jeffrey Epstein's buddy. Okay. So, all right. We got super chats on deck. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. We get to the phone calls in about 15 minutes. And yeah, hit the like button too. The like button is free. Hit the like button. We got 4,300 concurrent right now. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go to the first one here from Zachary Teachin. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. Who says, thoughts on Nico House and Tim Black, the progressive versions of you. You should have a discussion with them. It will be thoughtful. Fan of the show. I don't know Nico House. I don't know. I don't know who that is. But Tim Black, I met him actually. I met him at Politicon. He's a nice guy. Yeah, I talk to him anytime. It's no problem. I talk to him right there at Politicon. So if I talk to him in person at Politicon about just general things, then I talk to him on the internet. It's no problem. Shout out to Tim Black. And thank you to Susan O'Shea for the donation with the cat. I appreciate you. Thank you to Joe C, who says, really appreciate you, man. Thank you for your very kind words and your donation. Thank you to Jaja, who says Maxwell is not going to kill herself. Yeah, put that right there right now. Put a genie in the bottle, message in the bottle, because it might come true. Hopefully it doesn't, though, because like I said, I don't care about her as a person. If she dies, she dies. But I want her to snitch on other people that may come forward with some information and reveal this whole international pedophile network. Thank you to John D, who says, set them up in the air, ragdoll effect, PlayStation 4. That cracked me up. Thank you, Anthony. Hey, thank you for your very kind words and your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Talking about that hit on the highway. Like I said, send them up straight in the air like a rocket. Ragdoll, PlayStation 4 all day long. Thank you to Jeffrey Potts, who says, keep doing what you are doing. Happy 4th of July, ABL. Thank you for your very kind words. Thank you to Titus Corner for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to James Carver, who says, Who knew that the British, i.e. Jaguars, were so good at breaking up protests? Thank you to Sarah, who says, I value your perspective. Thank you for that. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says, preventing someone from driving down the road is a form of arrest. Very, very good point. Very good. Thank you to Abu Ba, who says, happy 4th of July, ABL. Thank you for that. Love your show and watch it every day. What are your thoughts and predictions on when the world is officially going to open up again? And in the year, next year, 2021? Thanks. That's a very good question. The world, I'm not really sure. I think it'd be staggered unintentionally. And what I mean by that is you may have some places like within a particular county that open up staggered, restaurants, gyms, bars, or whatever. But as far as the world, you have cities that open up, the smaller ones first, then the bigger ones, and then the whole world. But I'm not really sure about everybody else. It all depends on what they got going on, and different hemispheres, different seasons, different things are happening. Because right now it's wintertime in Brazil, so they're going to have more virus cases versus here where it's the summertime. So it really depends. I think at a certain point, by next year, this whole shutdown thing will be a thing of the past for sure, because it won't be affordable. And that'll pretty much be it. And we know now that we have many more cases. Like they're saying all over the country. What are they saying? They're saying we having a spike in cases, but I don't see a spike in deaths. So what's really going on? During the wintertime, it was, all the deaths, accelerating at a rapid pace. New York City, especially, people just dying, caskets everywhere, mass burials. Are you seeing that right now? I'm just asking the question. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've missed something, but I don't think I have. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says, I'm a little jealous since Canada Day got canceled by my leftist government. Wow, crazy. At the very least, freedom reigns somewhere on earth and is unapologetically celebrated. Happy 4th of July, ABL in chat. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. And I'm hearing fireworks right now outside my window, so we celebrating that for sure. Thank you to John D, who says that car should have had collision auto braking, but it was a Jag and it was probably broke. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Let me see. Thank you to the indescribable one, who says 2.3K plus tune in on 4th of July. Great investment of our time on a day that celebrates freedom. Thank you for your honest and liberating messages, ABL. You say what so many won't. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to I Am La, LAA, who says both road to Mount Rushmore was blocked off by the cops because of the protesters, but there was a lot of Trump supporters lined up outside. We blast the radio and cheer for our president. Good time. Hey, I heard about that. And you know what? It's funny. The media, what are they going to say? Oh, nobody came to the rally in Mount Rushmore. Meanwhile, the roads were literally blocked off by the protesters. And it's crazy because you have more so-called protesters that come to Trump rallies that ever come to Joe Biden rallies or anybody on the Democratic side's rallies. What are they really doing? I don't really know. And then they say that the other guy who has zero enthusiasm is going to win. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you to Michael P, who says, did you read Colin Kaepernick's rhetoric on July 4th? This guy is so privileged. Who was listening to him? Keep up the good work, ABL. I did not read that, but I could pretty much guess what it says. We weren't free. We're still fighting for our freedom. What does it mean to us? Blood on their hands, all this, that, and the third. Like I told y'all many times, it's not even about Confederate monuments, Confederate flag. It's about American flags and American monuments. It's about America in general, American history in general. Thank you to, let me see, Lee Roy Lynn, who says, happy 4th of July. Thank you for that. Thank you to R. Wise, who says, hey, ABL, love your content. Have an awesome 4th of July. Thank you for that. Thank you to John D, who says, was that a 2019 Jaguar pitching wedge? Thank you to Reds Machine, who says, thank you. Thank you to Ellison Hatfield Jr. 3 times, who says, ABL never stopped the fight. Way to rep West Virginia in the South. Thank you for that. Thank you to that guy who says, thanks for doing your thing. Happy 4th. Same to you. Thank you to Peter Lee, who says, bravo, with the cat emoji. Thank you to Gwendolyn Jordan, who says, thank you, ABL, for being real to us. Blessing to you and yours. Thank you for that. Thank you to Abraham, who said, keep it up, with the emoji. Thank you to Matthew, who says, no, the woman driver actually got shot. Oh, she did get shot? Wow. Now, okay, she got shot. Is she okay? Did she die? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Now I'm talking about that thing in Provo, Utah. where the driver shot into the actual car. That's crazy. So this guy shot a woman in her car for wanting to go forward. Crazy. Thank you to Nicolim222 who says, keep doing what you do. Love you, ABL. Thank you for that. Thank you to Retro Gamer 81 who says, no message, just appreciate you. God bless. Thank you for that. Thank you to Abraham who says, Mexican Americans for America. There you go. Thank you to Praying for the Rapture who says, 4 more months until 4 more years. Keep speaking truth, ABL. And you're right about that. 4 more months. We right back in the White House. Joe Biden, you going to... you need to go to the hospital house and get yourself checked out, for real. That's the reality. Thank you to Matthew Hammond who says, did you see where an Antifa woman blamed a black guy when caught with a Molotov cocktail? Deadly Beast has an article on it. Hilarious. I've not seen that, but I got to read that. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Renee Folena for your emoji donation. Thank you to Shield Labs, my man Shield Labs. Happy 4th of July from Independence, Missouri, here in the heartland. God bless you for all you do, and God bless America. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says 2020 the year reality catches up with to leftists, like being told, quote, no to XYZ genders, quote, no to CHAZ, quote, no to intersectionality, quote, no to their homemade freeway blockades, and promptly get hit by a car. Hilarious. Thank you for that. Hey, I'm going to show you guys something right quick. Shout out to my man Shield Labs. Shield Labs, if you hear Shield Labs, I'm going to show what you gave me. A lot of you guys send me things. I got a P.O. box. If you want to send me something on the P.O. box, links in the box on my website, anthonyblogan.com. But Shield Labs sent me something, a great gift. Okay, I've not had time to do like a real post for it, but I'm going to show it right now, live on the stream. Give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. Now, this is a legitimate shield. This is a legitimate retro Captain America style shield. This is actually steel. Yeah, this is a real deal. And it also has, like, you could put your arm right in here. I'm a big dude too. I'm about 6'3", 215 pounds. This is a pretty decent shield. So if you guys want one of these shields, go to Shield Labs on Instagram. Tell them ABL sent you. Get one of these right here. As a stand and everything. When I get time, I'm going to put it on the stand. I'm going to put it back here somewhere just on occasion to spice it up a little bit. This is a real shield. So if you got Antifa coming through your door and you want to just have a little extra protection, I got guns. So I got guns in the back. I got guns everywhere. But this right here, that steel, it's legit. It's a nice little shield. Shout out to my man Shield Labs for that. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate you guys. Alrighty. He makes all kind of shields, custom, whatever color you want, the circular ones, the old school ones, whatever. So, yeah, I gave him a nice plug on the show just because he was so nice and kind to me for giving me the shield. So, thank him for that. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to Leo Mazzino who says, Happy Independence Day. Go freedom. Thank you for that. Let me see. Shout out to Wanda's Place who says, WTF is wrong with this stupid thing. I don't know, but you made it work. Thank you for your donation. Matter of fact, I'm going to put Shield Labs' Instagram link in the box. Hold on. There we go. So Instagram.com/shield_labs. So matter of fact, let me just do this right here. Shield Labs. I'm doing this on the fly, one-man band right here. There we go, Shield Labs. Alrighty. Shout out to King Windsor 1 who says, just a donation. Thank you to Daniel J. Corico who says, #justice for Wendy's. Happy birthday, America. Thank you for that. Thank you to Good Bad who says, was it confirmed she was pregnant? Yes, it was. Thank you to Kelly B who says, Happy 4th of July. Love your channel, respect your views, appreciate your honesty, keep up the good work. We need more people like you. Thank you for that. Thank you to Drain the Swamp who says, donation. Thank you to Jason Edward who says, my fellow America, happy 4th of July. Thank you to Good Better, happy 4th of July. Thank you to Anna's Thoughts and Musical Parodies, who says, keep speaking out. Be conservative. YouTubers need to sit together. I'm looking forward to receiving a sticker from you too. Well, I'm glad you ordering the merch. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Let me see. Thank you to Cocked Hammer 72, who says, how I see it, like you said, daughters following mothers without fathers, so the girl may have looked to bump, causing a confrontation. Yeah, exactly. Talking about the situation out there in Detroit where the girl, apologize to me. Yeah. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says Clintons will get Maxwell to accuse Trump. Well, yeah, they might try to do that. That's a very good point. Thank you to Wash Your Fruits, who says, don't forget to play the Star Spangled Banner today, everyone. Right on point. Thank you to Justin Wow, who says, good job speaking reason and preaching knowledge. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to, let me see, Orlando, who says, I am late. How are you, Anthony? Happy 4th of July. U.S., Mexico, all that good stuff. Is that U.S., Mexico? U.S., U.M. What's U.M.? Oh, no, that's the, that's an island flag. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ulysses, who says, happy Independence Day to all proud Americans. Much respect to sheriffs like Daryl Daniels of Florida for preparing to deputize lawful gun owners to help fight lawless riots in the streets. I saw that. I think I may do a video about that. Shout out to him, because we need that, because people are kind of worried about the laws and what they can do. So I'm glad he's definitely doing that. Let me see. Shout out to Good Bad, who says, can we believe anything she says? Talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, I guess. She knows she is screwed. It's all about the money. She was hiding in $1 million mansion. She may have already been paid for what story she's going to tell. That's a very good point. Very good point. Thank you to Eric Burns Marsh, who says, why do people take Robin of Satan, D'Angelo, seriously? White fragility is a protocols of the deplorable elders of middle America. Thank you to Scott Cave for your donation. Thank you to Flick Story Entertainment, who says, what do you think about Elijah McClain cops fired for posting picture? I've not looked into that, really. I've seen it, but I've not looked into it, so I don't really know what's going on. Thank you to Charles Turner Jr., who says, next 122 days until November the 3rd will only get more intense. These riots need to end. More people will keep buying guns. Gun sales are up. Oh, yeah. Gun sales ain't going down no time soon, because people understand that they're under fire. They're in danger. Thank you to J.L. Goggin, who says, happy Independence Day. Any thoughts on Gavin Newsom saying not to worship in church? I have no idea. I don't know what the context of that is. I might look into it. Thank you to Serious Skills or Slills. I know I'm butchering that, and I'm sorry, who says, white dude here, grew up in the ghetto. My mom's a drunk. My pop's off by police in 94. It's not about race. It's about individuals. Love your show. Thumbs up. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to the Paul Mogetic, who says 1865 didn't happen in 1776, but 1865 happened because of 1776. Great work, bro. Very good point. Thank you for your donation and your on point and factual comment. Thank you to Mr. KG Bizzle, who says, happy 4th communist revolution. We are seeing masked behind race baiting. Very good point. They're using the whole black thing to just take over the country in the communist way. Black Lives Matter as I burn down a police station. What does that got to do with it? But anyway, next, they will bring down Christianity as the state is their God. Thanks, ABL. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to An Opinion, who says, happy 4th. It is my birthday. Happy birthday, man. And thank you for you giving me a gift on your birthday. Happy birthday to you, man. Thank you to YouTube user 533 for the cake with the candle. Thank you to Alex Frank for the donation. Thank you to Denali for becoming an ABL superstar. Thank you to Sisyphus Wins, who says, happy 4th of July to ABL and Red Pill Barista. You too, Comrade Alvin. Yeah, shout out to them. Thank you to Claire M, who says, can you please say kerfuffle? I said it right there. There you go. All right. Thank y'all for being here. I'm going to read a few more. Let me get to the calls. Thank you to Aunt Remus, who says, this is my first ever super chat. Happy Independence Day, ABL. I listen all the time. Thank you for giving me your very first super chat, and thank you for listening. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you to Robert Frank, who says, happy 4th of July. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that. Thank you to TJL, who says, love you, brother. Happy 4th. Peace and blessings. All lives matter. All races are God's children. America is God's country. Trump 2020, Kanye Owens 2024. There you go. Good team. Thank you to Orlando, who says those were supposed to be U.S. flag emojis after 4th of July. I got you. It's all good. Thank you to Santo Bartez, who says Kanye West just tweeted out he's running for president. If he's serious, I think this hurts Biden more than Trump. Your thoughts on a high-profile independent entering the race? He's running president right now? No chance. Thank you to Daniel Nordine, who says, ABL, please address the Black Panther provocation. I've not seen that. I don't know what's going on. I had to look into it. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Skid Wister, who says, Happy Independence Day, ABL. God bless you and your family. God first, God last. The only way the United States will truly heal. And thank you to Lynette G for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Alrighty, let's get to the calls, you guys. Thanks to everybody that super chatted, PayPal, Patreon, all the viewers, subscribers, listeners, thumbs uppers, thumbs downers. Thank you all for being here. Let's get to the calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658. There it is, 434-658-1220. The number's also always in the description box below. All right, let's start Skype up if it wants to act right, which it never does. But let's see if it wants to do right. All righty, let's get my settings together over here, and then we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Let's see. Settings straight. Turn the ringer off right quick so you guys don't hear that in your ear. And then we're good to go. Alrighty. And if you're here and you've not liked the video yet, go ahead and do that for me. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Helps me out tremendously. All right, try this one more time with the settings. And then we go ahead and get rolling. And the phone lines are blowing up already, so y'all just got to hang tight. All right. All right, Matt, what's going on? Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, I'm actually pretty worried that that Trump is going to lose this election.
How you figure?
Well, I figure, like, there's a little bit of anecdotal, but, you know, I have a friend of mine on the East Coast. I mean, a couple years ago, he thought that Trayvon Martin was guilty. And not that he defended Zimmerman, but now he thinks that the cops in Atlanta should have called that guy an Uber. And I feel like categorically and I'm not blaming Trump for losing the election. I'm blaming other Republicans. I'm blaming the public school system. I'm a long-term proponent that you get the government you deserve, and in a way, I kind of sort of feel like we deserve communism because we're all communist-minded for the most part. We don't have any appreciation for nuance, and Trump called it in a speech yesterday a left-wing extreme fascism, and I thought his speech was very good, but it's really falling flat in the media, and I'm in Seattle, and just everybody absolutely hates his performance yesterday.
Well, I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding how what you're saying means that Trump might lose. I don't really get it because let's not forget, there's still another guy running. You have to look at what he's doing as well. Like, if you're going to pick somebody and it's not going to be Trump, then you're going to kind of evaluate the other guy a little bit and say, all right, what's going on with him? This guy is pretty much on one leg, halfway dead. So it's like, why would he be a better choice?
He doesn't have to be. I think the way that his handlers are going to set this whole thing up is that if Trump comes down heavy-handed on him and tries the nuanced approach of, you know, what about this, what about that, they're going to play it off like he's picking on an old man, someone senile. And then the left is, I mean, he's gonna put forward his second pick, and then everyone's gonna vote for Biden's vice president. And I still think there's a chance come August and their primary where Biden's gonna straight up drop out, and you're gonna have a different candidate come in. And again, I'm saying this as someone that's run 2 caucuses. I was a delegate to the RNC. I don't think Biden is in it for the long term, and I think that's what everybody sees as a benefit.
Well, see, the thing about it is your regular everyday person is not going to think that deeply. They're going to see the presidents. They're not going to see the vice president. People like us that understand a little bit, we're going to look into that. But the regular person that's not into politics, just go to work every day, they're not going to think like that. All they're going to do is see Trump and Joe Biden. That's it. And if Joe Biden looking like he's about to die, I mean, why would anybody, especially those that already support Trump, because let's not forget, there's still a lot of support for Trump. You see all the rallies. More protesters show up to the rallies than show up at Joe Biden rallies. So the support, just looking at it from the street level, is not there for Joe Biden. And he looks bad. He looks terrible. Every time you see him, he looks worse and worse. He can't put two words together. And they're going to have debates. I mean, what's going to happen when you have, 1, 2, 3 debates, and he looks ridiculous? He's not. Biden still has to be able to do something. He can't just be a corpse out there. They said that in the article talking about, he could just bring his corporeal presence. No, he can't do that. He has to actually be somebody that people want to switch from, because Trump still won last time with a better candidate in Hillary Clinton. So you got to get those that are going to vote for Trump to switch, and it's got to be a reason. It can't just be, well, I've changed. It's got to be a real reason. It's not going to happen with Joe Biden.
I think it's 4 months, and there's anywhere from 12 to 10 points that Trump has got to close in on, and Biden finally had a month where he beat Trump in campaign contributions, and I think everyone's kind of looking at this George Floyd. George Floyd died of excited delirium. He killed himself, and the cops are trying to save his life. And I don't want to digress and get into that too much, but this nuance. I mean, even the car that hit those girls in Seattle, the first thing that guy did was got on the brakes and he put his hazard lights on. I drive that road, all the time. That's a blind spot, and he put his hazards on because when he was hitting his brakes, he didn't want someone behind him rear-ending him. But they cut the video off right before he stopped. And I'm saying that there's so much misinformation out there that no one's going to be able to take a nuanced approach. That what's happened to my friend on the East Coast, where he's gone complete libtard, is going to happen. And it's going to demoralize people to get out the vote. And then you got Tucker Carlson out there calling out these Republicans that are just, I mean, I was chair of the local Republican Party. We don't even have a website now. I mean, I was like, man, what are my people up to? So we're dying off. I mean, and Trump's got a lot of mainstream support and everything, but the cities are just so powerful, man. I mean, it just, and I feel like everybody's against Trump, and he doesn't have a lot of allies, and we've all gotten collectively more stupid. That,
right.
And then you look at the economy.
Well, I'm sorry, but I got it's real busy.
I'll leave you with this point. There's going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi effect to Trump. When he's gone, he will be more powerful than he's ever been. When he is not president anymore, he will be a statesman that everybody will want his endorsement. Everybody will want to hear what he has to say. And,
I got you.
And I'm talking both sides of the aisle. But I appreciate your podcast, and keep up the good work.
I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to Matt for the call. And thank you all for joining. You guys know the drill. Number to call, 434-658-1220. Shout out to my man Jericho Green for the donation. He says, happy 4th of July, Americans. Thanks for all you do, ABL. And thank you for what you do, man. You do a great job. People love you out here, man. Thank you for your donation and your support as always. Let me get to the next call. If I was having you on the line, who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Evan, man.
All right, man. What's going on?
What's wrong with that, dude? What's wrong with the previous caller, man? That they trying to save George Floyd, the police trying to save him. What the hell? Yo, man, I don't know what's wrong with these people, man. I don't know what kind of.
Wait, is that wrong?
So many. What do you mean try to save his life? You didn't see the guy put his knee on the guy's neck? Do you know that that police officer out with 67 complaints? 42 of those complaints were because he was very abusive towards the suspect.
Oh, did anyone get hurt?
Those you don't have to get killed.
It's a question. I mean, do you know the answer?
Well, we don't know because.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You don't want to release the information.
All right. So what else we got going on?
So that means we know what happened to this guy. So we know what kind of
And what happened?
treatment he gave to the suspect. So let's get that clear.
I mean, so
we
what
know
happened?
What kind of treatment? Well, that's what the police chief quit. That's
What?
why everybody quit, because the police chief quit. They all left. They everybody leaving because they were covering each other. All these guys, all these police officers, all these kind of complaints because of abuse of force. And then now when they want to release the documents, either the camera was not working, this was not working. That the same thing with the guy that killed the other guy in Georgia. He was involved in multiple shootings where he shot one of the suspects himself, but the camera was not working. He was with his partner shot somebody, but the camera was not working.
Who you talking about though? Who you talking about?
The police officer that shot the other guy in Georgia. I'm talking about different ones.
Oh, so you somewhere else now? Okay, so we ain't talking about George Floyd no more. We talking about Georgia.
No.
What happened in Georgia?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What happened in Georgia?
The police officer have multiple complaints. One of his excessive force. One that was.
But hold on, wait, sir. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
The police officer that killed the guy in Georgia.
What guy?
That the guy was running. That he killed with the taser. Yeah, he shot somebody else. The camera went off when he killed him.
Okay, so the question is, why did he shoot him?
Well, he shot him because supposedly the guy was running off in a stolen vehicle, and he was coming towards him.
Oh,
and
okay.
He had to pull out his gun.
So you're trying to hit a cop. You're trying to kill a cop with a car that you stole.
We don't know the situation. That's what he wrote
Okay.
in the report.
So you're trying to kill a cop with a car that you stole. So
We don't know yet. That's what he said.
you just said that though, didn't you?
But let me explain to you. That's what he says. When he say he shot the guy,
Okay.
he didn't put it on the report. He didn't put it on the report. Even the
All right.
judge, because the family trying to sue, even the judge was saying, like, I've never seen anything on my
So
life
what
like
was the
this.
penalty?
And it still was on the
Did
report.
he go to jail for that?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
He
All
walked
right.
away.
No,
No, he went
because he
away.
didn't do
Walk
anything.
away. The police officer didn't do anything. Wasn't suspended. Wasn't nothing. Because he said that his life was unfair. But then, why you didn't write in the report that you shoot the guy? Why you didn't put around the report? You say that they have to call 911, but they didn't explain.
It doesn't matter. So what's your next point?
Okay. So you can't really say that it's just crazy what they did. That he's trying to save his life. And talking about other areas, do you know what happened to the Black Panthers? Do you have any idea?
Nah, what happened?
Do you know? Well, your parents will tell you. I'm not.
Wait. I mean, are you talking about like historically? Wait, sir. Listen to me now. You talking about historically or just like what happened recently? Because
historically, what happened? How the Black Panthers started? How it was developed?
well, yeah, I know about all that. So I mean, what's your question? What's your point though?
So
like,
why you? So don't you think the same thing happened to Black Lives Matter? Was hijacked just like them?
What do you mean? Like Black Lives Matter? Nah, Black Lives Matter. It doesn't really matter what's going on. The fact is that they're doing what they're doing. So it doesn't even, none of that even really matters.
So that means the system is being hijacked.
I mean, how was it being hijacked when one of the founders came out and said, wait, sir, how was it being hijacked? One of the founders came on TV and said that they're trained Marxists. She came on TV and said that on MSNBC, said it. We are trained Marxists. So how are they being hijacked?
Let me explain to you how this thing could be hijacked. You know when they started in 2010?
No, sir. Look, we got limited amount of time, so we don't have all day to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I talk, nobody can hear you, so you got to be quiet. Now, I mean, really, look, I'm going to give you one last chance to shush while I talk, and then I'm going to ask you a question. So, if she gets on TV and says, we are trained Marxists, and they're out there doing that type of behavior, then if they're out there doing that type of behavior, then how can anyone say that they've been hijacked? They are doing exactly what the founders intended them to do.
But maybe some type of society that they don't like. Maybe some type of rights that they don't like. And actually, why you think that the LGBT is on the Black Lives Matter? Because the donation for the corporate.
No. The founders were LGBT too. So you're just talking about the founders are LGBT. They're LGBT and they're Marxists. Like, they're doing exactly what they were put out there to do. That was the whole purpose.
Okay, so do you believe that their job is to go and cause destruction or cause problems? Do you believe that's the goal?
That's what Marxists do. Thank you for the tea.
No, that's not what the Marxists do. That's not true.
So what do Marxists do? What do Marxists do?
Marxists could be in a different way. It could be something that they don't like, for example.
No. The question was, what do Marxists do? Not like, okay, why did they do it? What did they actually do? Sir, the question, I'll give you one last chance. I'll get to one. Matter of fact, actually, we're out of time. Thank you for the call. I don't got that much time to be wrestling with this dude. You know, I mean, we got calls on the line. I'm trying to keep moving. You know, we got how many viewers? 3,800. We don't got time for Ivan to be, filibustering. Thank y'all for the calls. You guys are great. The number to call, it was right there, but now it's gone. But it's always in the description box, 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. 973, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name is Anthony, man. What's going on?
Hey, great name, man. What's going on?
Hey, man. What's going on, Anthony? I want to talk about the blocking of interstates and roads. Do you think there should be some law that stops these people from blocking the ability to travel? Do you think there should be some law that should stop that? Is that constitutional in any way?
Their ability to travel?
Well, I mean, if quote-unquote protesters are in blocking the interstate, isn't it dangerous to other people's lives traveling in some kind of way or not?
Well, I mean, that should. I'm sure that what they're doing is illegal. You can't just block the interstate. That should be a crime in itself. I'm not sure what the exact crime is, what you would get charged with, what you would get locked up for, but there's got to be an actual violation there because you're actually blocking the road and preventing traffic from being able to go forward.
And like we saw recently that I don't know what happened particularly, but two quote unquote protesters got hit, but the guy clearly was not aware that there was a roadblock there, and he swerved and then hit them. And it's like if I had a kid in the back of my car and people were just blocking my way to get through the road, it's like it's wrong. It's so wrong on so many levels. I mean, at any point is government going to step in and say that these people on roads are wrong for doing that, or they should be locked up, or what? I don't know.
It's a good question. I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, there's got to be some kind of penalty for doing things like that. I'm right there with you. I think a lot of these people, the governors, the mayors in certain places, they simply don't enforce laws that should be enforced. Just like the whole thing with the CHAZ chop. Obviously, it's not legal to just take over a city block and run police out of their precinct. That shouldn't be legal, but yet it was allowed to happen for 3 weeks until they came to her house and then they wanted to clear it out. So I think it's a matter of just law enforcement.
I think it is, but I wonder, like, I really like Trump. I really like the whole. I grew up Democratic. My entire family was Democratic. And then in 2016, when Trump won, I was kind of eerie about it. But as I learned and I did my own research, I started to like him, and I started to break out of that Democratic brainwashing that I grew up with. But right now, I kind of feel like Trump is not doing enough. I hate to say it, but I feel like that they're not doing enough. I would like to see Trump do something about all this chaos in our country. And I know, it's like if he makes one wrong move when he moves in on something like this, it'll be bad for him. But I feel like they're not. I feel like Trump and his administration, they're not doing enough. I'm sorry. I'd like to see them do more. I'd like to see them be more aggressive on all this stuff, But I don't know. What's your take on that?
I mean, I'm not really sure what he can do that he's not doing right now.
I don't know about that. I actually, I would like to see him do more. I would like to see him move in more aggressively on all this stuff. This stuff is getting out of control, and I know. Trump talks a lot, and look, I'm gonna vote for him over Biden without a doubt. I don't want to see this country fall into socialism and communism and any of that shit. but I want to see Trump do more. I really do.
I mean, but we got to be specific, though, because if you say you want him to do more, then you got to say, okay, I want Trump to do this specific thing. Because really, all that Trump can do as it relates to the monuments and whatnot is just, send the federals out. Now, if he sends like the military out to protect monuments, then it becomes, Trump is just trying to use his personal security force, use the military as a personal security force to protect monuments. There are bigger fish to fry. Kids are dying, X, Y, and Z. So, really, it's up to the local governments. Trump can empower the local governments to do these things. He can give them whatever they need. But if the governments, hold on. If the local governments don't want to step up and do anything, then it really is not Trump's responsibility to come in and say, okay, let's do X, Y, and Z with the police. The only time that should really be a thing is if a city is being overrun, and it's just killings going on constantly. That'd be the only time. I mean, because aside from that, you'd be kind of like playing your hand way too early, in my opinion.
Okay, well, I'll do my last point, and then you can move on. But I would say that the country is so out of control, and the states have lost control, that I want to see Trump move in and do something, because the states have proven that they cannot control themselves. Okay, they are out of control, and the states have no ability to take control of these chaoses in their states. I want to see Trump do more and move in. Okay, and I know that the media is gonna they're going to say, oh, he's a fascist and shit like that. Honestly, I don't care at this point.
I got you.
It's more about the safety of the people.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean, but I'm sorry, but I got time limits. I get to my next call. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Anthony.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I mean, really, it's up to your local governments to handle statues and stuff like that. I mean, now Trump has done all of what he can do. DHS got deployed on the federal monuments, and you got stiff penalties, talking about 10 years in the penitentiary for destroying the monument. I mean, that's all that really can be done. Discouraging it, speaking out against it publicly, that's the best thing that can actually happen, in my humble opinion. Unless you just want to, send the military out there to protect monuments, every monument all over the country. 253 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Steve.
All right, I got a little bit of feedback in the background. Turn your speakers down for me.
I didn't hear you.
I have feedback in the background. Turn your speakers down for me.
Okay, I just did.
All right, so what's going on?
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is. You're live on the air. What's happening?
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to get too much off subject, but when we go to Halloween, if we put on a Mexican costume, or when it's appropriation of that race, all this appropriation, why, when a man says he's a woman, why is that not sexual appropriation?
People that say things like appropriation and just other little random words don't make any sense. They say those things, but they don't really mean it. They just want to say it at a particular time where it helps them. But other times where it does not help them, they don't use it.
Okay, that's all I had to say. I know you have a lot of people.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's go 678. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yeah, 678. Who am I speaking to?
This is Wash Your Fruits.
All righty, man. What's going on?
I just want to kind of agree with the first caller. Like, I live in Georgia, right? And I work at a factory. And I can't even come out as a Trump supporter because everybody, and I mean, like, everybody, I'll be a pariah if I come out and support Trump because, I mean, he's just hated where I work. So, I mean, I kind of agree.
Is it Atlanta?
It's in the suburbs. I'm about 45 minutes outside.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta. But that's typical for that part of the state. So, I mean, that it was like that in 2016.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So, but I mean, I just feel like he's got like such a bad reputation that it's hard to even come out, and be like in support, like, because I don't agree with everything he does. I think he's got like some real PR things, like, even though he says what he thinks, sometimes you got to hold that stuff back, just for public view, and I do agree, like the tariffs on China, I think are great, because I think China is probably like our biggest concern, because they take, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, I just saw factories just shutting down and people going out of work because it was all moving to like Mexico and China, and now stuff is coming back, but still it feels like I'm alone a lot of times with like a lot of stuff he says. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you gotta also think that people that you work with may be the same as you that support Trump and don't want to come out and say anything. Okay, a lot of that's going on. You'd be surprised who supports Trump and who doesn't, for real. Once you really get them, behind closed doors, at home with their wife and their kids, and say something different than what they say in front of y'all, because they just want to be acceptable socially in that particular environment. And then beyond that, like I said, you got Atlanta and the surrounding area. That's kind of like its own little place. Once you go up,
that's true.
Like to where I'm at, I'm in like, South Tennessee. So up here, like close to Dalton and stuff like that is way different than it is like, in Atlanta proper, Midtown or something like that. And it's way different than it is like way down by Florida and Alabama. Different parts of the state is different. And then those parts can make, a bigger population than just Atlanta and the surrounding area. And like I said, you never know who is actually pro-Trump and not. And then also, let's not forget, Trump won Georgia in 2016. Why would he lose it now in 2020? Okay, with more support. And then Biden, if they want to vote for a Joe Biden, think about what he's actually doing. This guy got one foot in the grave. He's not looking very good. People say that Trump has flaws, and he does, like any human being. But how flawed is he compared to a Joe Biden? If you're looking at two people and you're saying, who do I want to vote for? You want to vote for one flawed guy that I voted for already, or the other guy who's halfway dead? I mean, take your pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it could be, a lot of other people feel like I do, that they just can't speak out. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel othered, alone, because, I can't say, even though he's kind of brash in the way he talks, a lot of the stuff he does is good for the country. I mean, the country's doing, prior to the corona, it's been doing really well, and it's because of the things he's been doing, because like, even when his own people are against him, he still does, what is good for the country. He doesn't do what's politically good for him, but I don't know. I can't, even though I want to say stuff to support, I can't, because, I need my job, and people lose their jobs just for having a political opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So I don't know.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, sure. Have a good one.
All right, same to you. All right, shout out to the caller. You guys are fantastic. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 240, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Donna.
All righty, I got a little bit of static. Can you speak up a little bit for me?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay now?
Are you okay? All right, so what's going on?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I kind of want to just respond to the caller previously about how they're, people maybe are getting a little upset because Trump isn't acting as much as what they feel he should be with the statues, the rioting, and things like that. And I felt that way for a while. But actually, I feel, he's sitting back and he's a businessman and he's a showman. And I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Whenever the COVID first came out, the Democratic cities, Cuomo and all were screaming, hey, it's our cities, let us take care of them. So that's what he's doing now. He's letting people see what they voted for and what they're going to have. And I don't think he's going to have a problem at all at election time.
No, I don't think so. I think he'll do just fine. You know, I understand people are kind of a little nervous, but I think he'll be just fine. You know, and come election time, I think it'll be kind of a surprise how well he does.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a landslide.
Definitely.
And like I said, I think there's a lot of people that they'll speak that they don't like him, but it's a little different when they're in the booth by themselves. So
absolutely.
Just it's good to talk to you. Keep putting the word out there. Enjoy the show.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And thank you all for being here. You guys are fantastic. The best audience on the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you are a first-time viewer or for some reason you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, click that bell for me as well. When you click that bell, you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Let's get to the next call. 718, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, hi. This is Joseph. Can you hear me?
I hear you well. What's going on?
Hey, I just want to do a kind of like a follow-up with one of the things that one of the other callers was talking about how Trump isn't quite doing enough. I also am in agreement that Trump isn't kind of doing enough. I think on multiple fronts, though. More so if you look at, like, everything going on with COVID, everything going on with the protests, I think there are definitely steps that could be done to kind of remedy or at least help persuade local governments to do more.
Okay, so what should he do that he is not doing?
Well, okay, I'm in Pennsylvania, and we had a couple state reps that had filed or tried to end emergency declarations with Governor Wolf. This was, I guess, back at the beginning of all this. They started pushing stuff up to get a Supreme Court hearing, and the Supreme Court actually just completely ignored it, never heard the case. I think this is over COVID, by the way. I think if Trump would have came out and kind of persuaded or pushed the Supreme Court to do something about it, you would have seen, at least with COVID, you would see a little bit more sway.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not really understand. Like, so what should Trump have really been able to do in that situation?
Well, I think he could have came out publicly, at least in the media, and when it came to, because I know Pennsylvania wasn't the only state that it happened in where they were trying to push for reopening different places. And I'm sorry, there's people setting up fireworks. Pennsylvania wasn't the only state that did it, and I think if he would have came out publicly and like kind of pushed the Supreme Court just to start going forward or like persuading them to hear cases. As far as COVID goes, I think with reopening and stuff like that, he would have been able to push sway for Supreme Court hearings to rule in favor of local government.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's possible, but I'm not really sure that would really be a thing. I mean, that's, I think that with this whole virus situation, it's hard for anybody to really say what should and should not have happened, especially since right when it hit the whole world and everybody was responding differently. Some said shut down, some say herd immunity, some say mask, some say no mask. Experts change things,
yeah.
And Trump's not a disease expert, so it's like, I don't know. I think people look a little bit too much for Trump to do certain things, and some things it probably is not really in Trump's hands. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I think being a little more pushy about it would have been good, and I think that kind of also applies with the protest going on. I mean, he might not be able to, like, you can activate National Guard or do whatever for getting people at monuments, but there's a lot of litigation that goes into place where he could have attempted to withhold certain funding, until, like, I mean, in Seattle with the CHOP, he could have threatened to withhold funding for random, relief efforts, or, there's plenty of things that can be done on that end that never kind of came about. And it's not like I don't blame him for not doing it, and I'm not upset about it. I think there's definitely more that could be done with our government trying to remedy the situations.
Okay, well, I see I see your point.
So that's all I had to say. I don't know. I just wanted to call it to kind of get my point across because I feel like it's really hard to have conversations anymore.
Oh, it's all good, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. I mean, it's one of those things. Trump can't really do much without getting criticized one way or the other because, this whole thing with the WHO, remember that? They're talking about, you can't get the virus from human to human, all kind of stupid stuff. Don't cut off Chinese travel. Trump's like, all right, you know what? World Health Organization, let's cut off this funding right now. You guys ain't doing a good job. Let's cut off the funding. How about let's cut off some of this NATO funding. Let's cut off some of these programs. You criticize for that. So it's like, what can you really do without being criticized? All you can do is what you think is the best thing to do and try to keep a balance without being too much on one side versus the other. Because you're the president of all Americans, not just some that want to see you do what they think you should do. And then some don't want you to do certain things. Some would say Trump shouldn't even be there. So it's just kind of a weird thing that's going on. I think that Trump did what he could have done, all of what he could have done, without extending too far into states' affairs, which is what we really don't want. Not at all. And if you guys want these flags that are behind me, they are available through the link in the description box. Check them out right now. Matter of fact, let me see if I could put that link in the box directly for you guys. So you want to do too much looking in all of that kind of good stuff. Hold on. Are they right there in the box? Yeah, they should be. Yep, there they are right there. Right here. Let me go ahead and put that in there. And let's see. I'm gonna title it Witten Flags. I think it's the same thing in the box. So you guys can see it. And also, these hats and more merch is available for sale on my website and also on the other domain name, ablmerch.com. I'll put that link right here in the box for you as well so you guys can see what's going on. Well, it's already in the description box, but I put it right here in the chat box for you guys just to be convenient. And let's get back to the calls. Again, 434-658-1220. If you want to appear through Skype, there's the email for that in the description box below. Let's check it out. 319, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. It's Jacob. Last time I was trying it because I wanted to get back to the show. Perfect. How's your day going, man?
Everything's going great, man. How about yourself?
That's good. Having a great 4th. How about, hope you're having a great 4th too.
Oh, everything's beautiful, man. No complaints.
That's great. Glad to hear it. Sorry if there's some thumping in the background. Got some fireworks going off, you know.
Same here, man. It's all right.
But, oh, man. I kind of forgot my question. But the main thing was I was honestly just calling to tell you happy 4th, man, and hope it's been a great day for you. God bless America. Stay strong. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Freaking love the show. Take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah. Thank you to Santo Bartes says wearing a shirt in blue. Yeah, got the mugs. Hey, everybody kept saying certain things. Like, you guys know I make all the merch, so I could just put stuff on whatever. It's really fun to do. I enjoy it. Let's get to the next call. Alrighty, Romer. You hear me, boss?
Can you hear me?
I hear you well. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I know you got a lot of callers, but I just wanted to keep it brief. I just wanted to discuss a few things with you. So first off, happy Independence Day to you Americans from a fellow Canadian.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And secondly, I just wanted to talk to you just briefly with what was going on so far with the whole CHAZ shop, and now recently with the whole accidents in Seattle. I mean, it's all going haywire. It's become like a massive house of cards, and it just makes you think, like, with what's going on with who's funding it, like where all of this money is really going to, that most people aren't paying attention to. So I just wanted to discuss that one thing. Like, you've heard of Act Blue, I assume?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So I was doing some research on that, and it turns out that that majority of the money, like the contributions, $1 trillion of it goes to federal commodities. I'm not sure if you've read on that.
Nah,
over $1 trillion. Yeah.
I had no idea. I don't know where all the monies are going, so I didn't know that.
Right. This was something that was posted through the website from the link that Candace Owens posted went on from her Twitter. And then it turns out that the three candidates, Democratic candidates who are getting the most money are actually Bernie Sanders with $186 million, Biden with $119 million, and Elizabeth Warren with $93 million.
Okay.
So I'm like, seriously, it's like these people are trying to, like, what's going on? Like, they realize that none of the money is actually being given for, like, actual creations for actual businesses. It's all going to all these lobbyists. And I'm like, what is it going to take for these people to realize this? Just more violence through these peaceful protests?
Well, the easiest way to settle the whole thing would be to ask the people that are collecting the monies, the BLM or whatever, okay, what are you actually funding aside from political candidates? Are you funding anything, any kind of real programs? I see them having the nice little signs out there. Some of the money is going towards the people that actually fund, like started the thing, the founders. Some of the money is going towards the T-shirts and all the marketing materials and the Facebook ads and the website. Where's all the other money going? To the political people or what? Where's all the actual things that you funded that can help the community if Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
I think people need to really just look at the organization and see what it is. Marcellus Wiley, he's a commentator on, I think it's Fox Sports 1. I forget what the name of the show is, but he's a commentator there. And he read their mission statement on Live on Air. This was fantastic to do this on mainstream media like that. He read it. He's talking about dismantling the nuclear family. I mean, these are things that we don't want. So aside from where the monies are going, let's look at what they actually stand for and what they actually do. Once you see that, you don't really see a whole lot of good things. You see all kind of fishy things at best and just straight up nefarious things at worst.
Right, absolutely. And yes, it's funny that you mentioned, like, in terms of, like, contributions, because only $11,000 went to the media and $1.3 million went for fundraising. So it's like nobody's asking where the other 99% of the money goes to.
Very good point.
Right. So that was number one. Number two was in regards to Trump's speech that took place yesterday. I watched the whole thing with my parents. Fantastic speech. I especially loved how Trump decided to actually directly label the far left as social justice warriors. I mean, he didn't add in the warriors, but he added in warriors of justice. So that was a pretty direct way of him saying that he knows who the real threat is. And just something else I wanted to add on top of that was, I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a YouTuber that I follow who just stated that Trump issued an executive order on colleges and degrees. Not sure if you heard about that.
I've not heard about that, no.
Yes, so what happened was he's actually set to sign an executive order, which is outlining a new direction for the nation's largest employer, which focuses, when it comes to hiring people, that they hire based on policy. Sorry, not policy, but
skills. I saw that.
Skills instead of college degrees.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. That was great because that's what it should be. And I feel like it is that way sometimes because really what the degree acts as is kind of a filtration system, because if you're getting a bunch of applications to one, like I was going out for one job. They said they had 4,000 applications for one job. This was many years ago. This had to have been like 2009. And the job was paying like $35,000. From all over the country, all over the world, you had people that were applying. So a way to kind of filter that would be the degrees. But at a certain point, it shouldn't necessarily be a requirement. If you can display that you have good skill, you should be admitted to a place based on that. Then again, they do have the right to discriminate however they want, private business. But I feel like your skill should dictate what's going on. Now, is this private or public he was talking about?
This was, let's see, I believe it had to, he said he wanted to start through the largest board, which was the federal government.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's different. So yeah, if it's public, then yeah, you can make rules like that because it's, federal government, taxpayer. But you're talking about private, that's a little bit different. But I still would encourage.
Oh, sorry. There was just one other thing. She said it was actually going to be done through Ivanka Trump. It was the American Workforce Policy Advisory Board.
Okay.
This is what she was like. She was the one who was going to be personally handling some of the applications from now on. And I mean, like, this actually reminds me of a quote that was discussed from the movie Jerry Maguire, where they said that the key to any business is personal relations.
Yeah, that's very true. Right on point. But hey, I thank you for the call. Got a lot more on the line. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Take care.
All right, shout out to the call, the great call. And thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. You got to go ahead and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, click the bell so you'll get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. All right, let's get to the next call. 832, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Heather. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. About yourself?
I'm good. Two things. I wanted to address the callers that are saying they want to see the president do more. I've studied the law a little bit. I have a paralegal certificate. And one thing we study is the Constitution. And what people need to understand is that, and I think you understand this, policing is reserved to local governments, mayors, states. We're not a democracy. We're a republic, which means the states have most of the rights when it comes to policing. So the president can't just send out the National Guard. And each state has their own National Guard. That's why you'll hear the Louisiana National Guard, the Texas National Guard, Washington National Guard. And the National Guard is deployed by the federal government upon request from the governor. So if the governor isn't requesting it, or if a mayor like Judy Durkin stood up and said, we don't want the help, it's a sticky wicket for the president to go in there and send in federal troops. And I would encourage all of the listeners to research the Insurrection Act and posse comitatus. It's not as easy as him just sending out the troops. In fact, if he does it against the governor or mayor's will, that's grounds for impeachment. And he's already been down that road. If he doesn't have enough backing and support from the citizenry. So he can't just do it willy-nilly, and especially when he's getting pushback from the local authorities. The Insurrection Act actually, in some circumstances, requires the courts to get involved and also the Congress to get involved. So it's not something he can just. That's what keeps our country from becoming a tyrannical dictatorship.
Right, that makes sense.
So it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing that we have those laws. But at times like this, it's also extremely frustrating. And we're just going to have to be patient, Thank God I live in Texas and you live in Tennessee. Hey, let me ask you this. Isn't Tennessee the home of the Minutemen?
I don't know.
Okay, I was thinking that's historical. That goes back to I think that goes back to the Revolutionary War. But Tennessee and Texas are kind of the same in the way we, stand our ground. So thank God I live here and you live there. But I feel for the people in Seattle and Washington State.
Yeah, I really do, because they're pretty much in a kind of a terrible place, because the mayor doesn't care, the governor doesn't care. So it's like, what can the people actually do? It's a shame.
Yeah. And I feel like it was almost a setup in a way that they were wanting him, they were pushing his buttons, wanting him to send in the federal government so they would have grounds to come back and, call for an impeachment.
That's a very good point. And people were saying that too. They were like, they're trying to goad him. They're trying to do something to make him do it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to make him look like a dictator.
Right.
And he's, as much as he wants to go in and help the people, he can't just go in and do that unless the people rise up and ask for the help themselves, that's the gray area he's in. So I would just encourage your listeners to, research those two things, Posse Comitatus and the Insurrection Act. And then they'll understand how it's not easy for him to do, because we're a republic. The second thing I wanted to ask is if you heard about what happened in California with the governor there, declaring that the churches, while they can worship and they can meet to worship, they can't sing.
They can't sing in the church?
Mm-mm. Brandon Tatum did alerted me to it. He had a video on it tonight, and then I went out and researched it myself. And yeah, there's an order. He's told them that they cannot sing, they cannot do chanting prayers. So he's basically controlling how they can worship.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's really scary. Yeah, I'm going to throw out something here on a religious note. There's something much bigger going on right now in the world than just COVID and what's happening in George Floyd. This is a spiritual battle, and it goes way beyond what most people think it is. This is, and I know you're not exactly a religious person, but this is trying to usher in a new world order and the rise of the Antichrist.
Well, yeah. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we don't go down that road. We definitely don't want that.
Well, we just encourage your listeners also to start studying the Bible. There is this little thing called the rapture, and supposedly Christians will be raptured before the Great Tribulation. So that's what I'm praying for. That's what Brandon's praying for. Just the rapture. But we want to get as many people on board as possible. So look into that too.
Right.
Anyway, that's all I had to say. It's scary. It's scary, isn't it? Scary, but boy, today was great. I don't know if you watched The President.
I did see that. It was a really good talk, but I thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to the next call. 215, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
How you doing?
All righty.
Hey, this is Will. Hey, I really like that last caller, the woman. She put it really eloquently. That Trump really can't just go in and do this. And you have to also consider one other point: the optics of it, how that looks, especially in an election year. Armed, National Guard going into neighborhoods. The optics would just be terrible.
Oh yeah, it'd be ridiculous. So, I think that a lot of the liberal mayors and governors wanted him to try to do something like that, so then they could use that for their own political advantage, which is really crazy.
Absolutely.
And using their own citizenry as kind of like cannon fodder.
Yeah, absolutely. She said that as well. Trying to entice him to get them to do that. That we can clearly, anybody who's got half a brain can see exactly what they're doing on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? I was interviewed on the radio here in Phoenix because I went to the Trump rally, and they're like, a lot of people were at weren't wearing masks in Oklahoma, and will people be wearing masks out there today? And I'm like, we need to consider the source. I didn't hear anybody, getting up in, their panties up in a bunch because people are spitting in police officers' faces, at these protests. So, I think we need to consider the source. I am so supportive of this president. Just watching him in his speech yesterday and today on the 4th, he is getting better with, how he's talking. Yeah, he does say things that are a little knucklehead sometimes, but I like his cojones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is just amazing for this country, and he is sparking patriotism. Somebody said this, like, you can't go back. I think it was somebody on, like, Tim Pool's podcast. You can't go back. You can't go back now. Now that we're aware of this, we are going to be making sure that our country, doesn't fall victim to this kind of stuff again. And I plan on, with my fiance, making a family where we raise patriotic children. My fiance is, Puerto Rican. She's darker skinned, and we don't like being called racist when that's clearly not what that is or what we are.
Exactly. 100%.
And I think you have a fantastic program here. I swear I called you 200 times just to get through, but no, I'm glad I got through. And there's a silent majority out there of patriots that really can't speak up. I unfortunately lost my job due to COVID. I'm not really, up in a, getting crazy about it because I can get recommendations from my bosses still, and Phoenix is kind of getting a little bit of a first wave. They call it a second wave, but it's really our first wave here. But I'm not really worried about it. I have confidence that this economy is going to turn around and we're going to be greater than ever. It's sickening what they're doing. What the lady said about the religious aspect to this, she's absolutely right. The devil is present in the Democrats, and to be honest with you, some Republicans. We can't let Republicans get away with some things that they do. There are some Republicans who scare the crap out of me. All right, we need to make sure that whoever is in office is clear with all of us about what their ideologies are. We need to be on our local government as well. I'm getting fired up here. I got to take my girl out to dinner, but ABL, you're fantastic. And, yeah, man, you're alongside Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, a bunch of people that are just really turning out a whole population of thinkers that are thinking of things completely differently than what's being fed in the mainstream media. So I thank you for your work.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Shout out to the caller. Great call. You guys are fantastic tonight. And thank y'all for being here on 4th of July weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed your day. Don't have nobody getting in your way trying to steal your joy. Get you a hamburger, hot dog, whatever you want. Some sweet tea, all that good stuff. Let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's get to the next one. Okay. Let's do 336 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Justin in North Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Well, I just enjoying my day. I just watched a movie this morning called Uncle Tom, and I had my eyes open to a whole new facet of forgotten heroes throughout history. Kind of wanted to get away from the current events and wanted to know if you would share some of your inspired figures throughout history with me.
I mean, as far as what, like, be more specific for me so I can give you a more accurate answer for you.
Basically, I'm just wondering if there's any figures throughout history that you're inspired by that may have been forgotten.
That's a deep question. I mean, wow. I gotta think about that for a while. Forgotten people, really people that I know personally, people like my family members, my grandfather, Chauncey Logan in Roanoke, Virginia, one of the first black faculty members in the Roanoke Public Schools, did everything, like he was in NAACP at one point, I think. I don't know about that. I know he was in Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, mentored kids, tutored. He was doing everything. And raising, my dad and his two brothers, married, just a role model for me, personal family members, people that don't get mentioned at all in the mainstream media. And then other people that have done like small people that you would never really know, people that I knew just around the area where I lived, business owners, guys that give me a lot of advice, a lot of tips and tricks, those kind of people that I know personally were the ones that really were impactful. Now you got other people that people know. As far as that movie, Larry Elder was really a big inspiration to me coming up when I was trying to find conservatism. He was a real big inspiration. Rush Limbaugh was a great inspiration to me because, people told me, don't listen to Rush Limbaugh. He's racist. He hates you. And I always just believed it without hearing them for myself. And when I became more conservative back in like 2011, 2012, I listened to him. I didn't hear anything that I disagreed with. I didn't see the racism. So that kind of opened my eyes. And I liked the way he ran his show. I liked the way he was talking. It just kind of made sense So people like that, people that do like radio, politicians, they really kind of inspired me. But the two main ones for me was Rush and Larry Elder.
Right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm sort of new to your channel. I enjoy your stuff, and I appreciate you taking my call tonight.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate it. Let's get to the next call. 801, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Mark Warnick. I've got a PhD in public safety, and I've got some input.
All righty, let's hear it.
Well, a couple of things. First off, there's local rule which FEMA, and I'm an expert on the subject, no matter what the federal government does, such as if there's a disaster or anything, they cannot come in until the locals completely request it. And that works the same for law enforcement and everything. The other thing is, I'd love to talk to ABL about where our country is going and are we heading towards a rebellion?
Well, I'm on the line right now, so you're speaking to me right now.
Oh, hi, ABL. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, I'm not that big yet to have a screener, but maybe I will be one day. So you want to talk about where the country is going, what's going to be the next step?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Are we ever going to come back together as a united country, or are we going to be divided forever?
I think that we're not as divided as what the media will portray us as, because most people aren't really tuned into the politics stuff. That's just the reality. Most people will just vote how they think they should vote, if they vote at all, and not every American does. So I think it's not even really that big of an issue the way the media is portraying it. Once you kind of leave the news world, the internet sphere, it's less of this. Now, a lot of people are tuned in, so I don't want to have that be a confusion. People are tuned in, but it's not as many as we think, and it's not as many people that are so divisive. So I think you'll see less of the sensationalism when it becomes less profitable for that to be the case, because right now the media want nothing more than the division and the chaos, because that's what keeps them in business. You know, so they have no real vested interest in seeing anything go the opposite direction. But I think just regular everyday people aren't really buying into it as much as we think.
Well, you know, I say on my YouTube channel that the biggest problem we have with this insurrection, for lack of a better word, is that people are taking and painting broad strokes and assigning something to a whole population rather than looking at the individual. And what we get from that is prejudice, because it's like saying all cops are racist. There may be one or two, but not all of them. It's like saying all white people are bad. There may be a handful, but it's not all of them. And we need to get back to literally looking at the person for who they are.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. That's definitely an important thing to do.
I just think that at this point, things are really tense between the right and the left. And I think after the election's over, that things will settle down. But I believe that if they keep pushing so hard, that more bad things are going to happen, like that, what happened out in Seattle.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I see where you're coming from.
Where these people are, they're not tuned in. It's time to quit fighting. It's time to sit down at a table and compromise and see where we can meet in the middle, in my opinion.
That's right. Hopefully, you know, some people are willing to come to the middle. Some people are going to want to stay in their corner, and that's okay. We want to get more people to come towards the center than don't come towards the center. And if that happens, you'll be able to have some progression But if you get people kind of like in their corners and not willing to come out, then you won't really see any progress.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick question for you, and then I'll let you go. Do you mind if I say the name of my YouTube channel?
Go for it.
Doctor of Disaster.
All righty. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL. I watch it always.
All right, now. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank y'all in the chat. You guys are fantastic. And thank y'all to who have PayPal, super chatted, Patreon, all that good stuff. All the likers, commenters, and everything. Okay, let's get to the next call. 305, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Coast 305 Miami.
All righty.
How's it going, ABL?
Everything's good. About yourself?
Good. Soon I'll be calling you. You'll have a call screener. You're going to go big, man.
All righty. So what's happening?
Anyway, I wanted to talk about, if you don't mind, I know this is probably not the best direction, but about the two that were that had the protesters and they took out their weapons. The couple up in Seattle where they were going to the mayor's house. You know what I'm talking about?
Now the couple that took out their weapons, they were going to. I don't know about that one. Talk about that right quick.
You actually talked about it a couple of days ago. I'm probably not describing it correctly. It was the couple that took out their weapons, and now
Oh yeah. Okay. No, that was in St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah. Sorry, I've been seeing so much news lately. It's incredible what's going on in this world right now.
It's a lot going on.
But really quick, yeah, what's up with that? Why are they going to go after them when they have a Second Amendment right to protect their property? Here in Florida, I'm scared because I know we have stand your ground down here, but still, if they can prosecute in St. Louis, that could bring in a real nasty precedent for us.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're going to get them on. Like they're saying they're trying to get them, but there's been no charges announced yet, as far as I know. You have kind of a how can I say, an activist person in there, and they might try to throw the book at them, but that might not actually work. Because number one, the couple are lawyers. They're personal injury lawyers, so they know the law, and they have a good lawyer too. So I think they're going to be protected, even if they do get charged, which is kind of a snowball's chance of that really happening, because it was obviously self-defense.
Okay, no, I hope that's the case, because us little people down here in Florida, we're not lawyers or big shots, and it sets a nasty precedent if they're able to go after them that easily. So that was my only real worry. And I got to tell you, I'm Hispanic, and I was Democrat, quote unquote, all my life, because I didn't know any better. I popped open a couple of books, and voila, there you go. I became conservative almost overnight because of all the crap that's going on nowadays.
Right, that's excellent. I mean, you seeing what's happening, and then you're reading some books, and you seeing some things in there that just kind of make sense to you. It was like, okay, then what am I doing on the opposite side? This side is for me, so I'm glad you're able to do that, man.
Yeah, man, and I thank you for your show. I thank you for your time, and I'm telling you, man, you're gonna make it big like Rush. Hey. Rush started small. He grew up, and you're gonna blow up too, man. You got my support. I can tell you that much.
I thank you for that, man. Hopefully that does happen. I appreciate you for your call too.
All right, boss. Thanks.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All righty. Let's get to the next call. 760, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
Ann, I'm your biggest fan.
Well, I'm glad you're able to get through.
Thank you, dear. I'll make it fast. I wanted to know what you thought about the governor of Minnesota asking Trump to declare Minneapolis a disaster and asking for $500 million for all the repair.
Wow, that's you got a big pair on him to ask that, because there are some things that he could have done to mitigate those damages. I mean, you pretty much letting the city burn. So at a certain point, it's like, where's the responsibility at, sir? You are asking for monies now after you let the whole thing just happen like that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. If I were Trump, I would be, if I were to give money, I would have strings attached. It wouldn't just be, okay, here's some money because, you let your own city and state just dive into despair without, asking us for any real help until now when you want the money. Yeah, it'd be strings attached if I gave the money at all, for sure.
Absolutely. I remember when the day all this started, Trump told him to send in the guard, and he was snotty, and he wouldn't, right? So he just let everything, become chaos. So I'll make it snappy. I know you have a lot of calls, but I just wanted to bring that up and get your thoughts on that.
Well, I thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Love you, ABL. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I did see that about the $500 million. It's like, how are you going to ask for $500 million when you just let your whole state, your city, Minneapolis, just sink into despair like that? Okay, like the people in the city were suffering. What were you doing in there? Like, and the mayor, oh my goodness, what's his name? Jacob Fry, is that his name? Looking like Peter Pan, going out into the crowd and basically just getting punked. They're screaming at him, yelling at him, "Get the F out of here!" Like, your leadership in the city and in the state was just non-existent. So don't come running to the federals for some help when you couldn't handle your situation. All right. That's not right. Let's get to the next call. 505, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, this is Maria Rodriguez from Albuquerque. I'm watching you. I guess it's delayed.
Okay, what you gotta do for me is turn the speakers off in the background and just talk to me on the phone.
Gotcha. It's off.
All righty. So what's going on?
Are we good? Oh, you know what? I wanted to comment on that. The woman that the black woman and her daughter were going to beat her ass because at Chipotle. They were in Michigan. Did you hear about that? I don't know if you talked about it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. So did you talk about it on your show?
I did. I did a video about it.
Okay, well, that one really bothers me because, they got her on a felony assault. And earlier on your show, you were talking to that Hispanic man in Florida. He was worried about it setting a precedent for the man and woman, the lawyers that came out armed, and they're being charged. And, the guys that beat up the employee at Macy's, they were charged, but they've never been, they let them right out of jail. I don't see anybody being prosecuted. There's my point. I don't see anybody being prosecuted that are black, that are, that are being, they just feel like, I think that they feel like it's a free for all. They're not going to be in trouble, so they can do whatever they want.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to happen depending upon the situation. It can happen like that because these people are trying to pretty much let everything go, and it's really just going to have a negative effect. It's not going to do what they think it's going to do. It's the same thing with all these little autonomous zones and whatnot that are pretty much allowed to just go and do whatever. It's not good. People don't really understand that.
No, I agree. We're in New Mexico, and of course we've got a lot of natives and we've got a lot of Hispanics, and we've got a really good black population. We have a legit police reform movement. We've only had a little bit of looting, but we had so many people of our community come out and just hit the streets, and there are all these little youngsters in hoodies with spray paint trying to be like what they see on the national news. And it was sad. I also wanted to comment on the woman that came on that was talking about, I'm trying to talk fast, and of course I forgot everything I was going to say, but the spiritual, the darkness that we have in our country right now. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I'm a pretty hardcore believer. And we're warned about this, the times that it would be, everything good would be called bad, everything bad would be called good, in every sense of the word, in every realm, of society, of culture around the world. And what's happening is I have cousins, I have family, I have friends that are intelligent, that have been to school, have common sense, or not been to school, just have their own wherewithal, and they can't see what's going on. They can't see what the Democrats are doing. They can't fathom that Trump's done anything for our country, that he pulled up our economy, got us out of China, exposed so much that he has been, They said that he was going to take us to war, and he didn't. Hillary would have done that, but he's gotten us out of Syria. He's trying to bring us back from Afghanistan now, and of course they're all over him about that. But my point is that the Bible speaks of, and this is just for me, of course, and anybody else out there that believes that there's going to be a delusion. God's going to send a delusion because people didn't seek the truth, didn't want the truth, and so they're going to believe the lie. And this is the lie. We're living it right now. We see it. We can see it with mainstream media and how they, present things to the public. And so many people believe it. And it's right in front of them. There's video. They won't show it on regular mainstream media,
Right.
They won't show what's really going on. They won't talk about it. They won't show it. It's all very one-sided, left-leaning, destructive, and violent, and all the above. So that's my piece. Probably didn't make any sense at all, but thanks for listening. You're doing a wonderful job, Anthony. I'm really proud of you. It's really difficult in these days to step out, and I'm glad that you have the support you do. You certainly have mine, and I shared you with everybody. So take care. We're praying for you.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to the next call here. Number to call, 434-658-1220. 407, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Matt.
All righty, Matt, what's going on?
How are you? So I think you guys are a bit overconfident on the Donald Trump getting reelected thing. I think he's doing a very bad job, in fact, on handling the COVID situation. Obviously, the civil unrest as well. I think the average American is wanting a lot more leadership from the head of our government in our country, and I don't see that Trump is doing much to help us.
Okay, so what should he do that he's not doing?
Okay, well, this is an easy example, right? But as far as the civil unrest is concerned, I would just offer you that Obama, I think, would have handled it much better. He's much more compassionate as far as race issues are concerned. I mean, this is not a great example, but you remember the beer summit with the professor and the police. He handled it a lot more smoothly.
So what about when he brought Black Lives Matter to the White House? Said they're doing a great job. Was that smooth to do that? Right when Ferguson was happening, was that a good idea?
Well, I think that it did keep the Ferguson situation from getting worse. Right now,
how much worse could it have gotten? I mean, the city pretty much burned down. How much worse could it have gotten?
Well, it could have gone on for a lot longer. Look at what we have going on right now. I mean, Trump is basically he's not really doing anything. He's just telling all the governors to crack down. Everybody should be pushing the protesters back. He's basically, fighting fire with fire. And I don't think that has ever worked in any situation. I mean, that's kind of like what China does when their people are protesting.
I mean, it does work, really. But okay, so here's my question to you. What should Trump actually do? Give me something specific so I can work with it.
Okay, Trump needs to start meeting with black leadership. Let's just take the NAACP, the local black churches, right? Places like that, and start some conversations. And he's going to have to engage with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Well, okay, he already has met with a lot of black leaders. He constantly does that. I mean, people that I know have been to the White House many times to speak to him. He's invited a lot of the left, but the left don't even want to go. The Congressional Black Caucus don't want to go. He's invited them. He invited them from the very beginning, right when he came into the presidency, and he's been inviting them a lot, and they don't want to even show up to the table to talk. So it's how can you get anything done? People that don't want to do anything like that. Okay, and then beyond that, the objective of Black Lives Matter is to get Trump out of office. So what can you actually do when you meet with them? Their purpose, their goal, one of the founders went on TV and said it. She went on MS-13 NBC. She said it. Our goal is to get Trump out of office. So if that's their objective, what can you really do to try to make some kind of middle ground with that? On one end, Trump is like, he wants all the things to stop. On the other end, they want him out of office. So what are you going to do?
Well, you're right. It's probably going to be real hard for Trump to do that. However,
I mean, but my question was, what can you do though?
Yeah. He's not right now. It doesn't look like he's doing anything.
I understand that. I understand your point that you've made about him not doing anything. But the question is, what can he do? If he's not doing anything, okay, that point has been established. What can he do? Hello?
I honestly don't know.
All right then. So I'm saying it's like, my thing is this. A lot of people are saying that Trump is not doing enough and whatnot. All right, I understand your point. I feel you. I'm with you. But we got to be able to come with some suggestions. We can't just say, oh, you're not doing enough. Because the next question is going to be, all right, what should I do? Trump is the kind of guy that will listen. We know about that because he'll have Kim Kardashian. He'll have Kanye West. Anybody come to the White House, but you got to be able to have something. I have been to the White House a couple times. I know guys that are in the administration, and that's what they say. If you have a grievance, if you have a problem, you got to come with some kind of solution to present. It's the same thing with anywhere else. If you have some kind of issue, you got to be able to come with a solution to your issue and then present it and be like, okay, here's my grievance. Here's my solution. Where can we go from here? But if that's not had, then we can't really do much with that.
So, and then, okay, but the re-election, like in November, chances are we're going to have the COVID situation is going to be as bad, if not worse. And I'm honestly worried that the protest situation will still be going on. And as far as COVID is concerned, he was initially having daily meetings where, he was encouraging people to social distance. But at this point, like he's the guy that's basically saying, don't worry about it. It's going to go away. You don't need to wear a mask. Things that most scientists, I think, disagree with.
Well, I mean, okay, wait. Let's hold on. When you say most scientists, I mean, would it be because a lot of scientists agree with Trump? I mean, it's not all scientists that are saying this. And a lot of these, so-called experts and scientists, opinions change over time. Anthony Fauci, Dr. Doom himself, came out at first when the whole thing was going on during the pandemic at the very beginning saying, don't wear a mask. It won't really help. You might block a droplet or two. But now he's putting the mask on and saying, wear it. The World Health Organization, they came out and said that the virus cannot spread from person to person. And they said, don't cut off Chinese travel. Now they're saying, okay, it can spread person to person, wear a mask. The experts don't even know what's going on. How can Trump be the guy that knows more than the experts? They don't even know what's happening. The reality is that you're having more and more positive cases, but less and less deaths. That means that the actual death rate from it is very low. So what's the purpose of doing all this distancing and the mask stuff, which is killing the economy? How many more trillions can we afford to spend to keep the economy up? How much more money can we print from the Federal Reserve? We can't afford to do that at a certain point. So people are going to die. It ain't going to be some kind of mass extinction event. That's just normal life. People die from the flu, the common cold, stomach viruses, all kind of things every single year. We don't just kill our economy for it. I'll give you the last word.
Well, I think Trump is right now in disagreement with Dr. Fauci. And, you mentioned that there was mistakes made before as far as advice, but now we know we should be wearing masks.
I mean, that could change tomorrow because it's not even about mistakes. It wasn't a mistake when Fauci said what he said. It was what he thought at the time was right. Now it could change day to day. He may say this is the appropriate advice right now. Then he could say tomorrow, oh, now here's the appropriate advice. They keep changing. It's not a consistent thing. If you're a scientist, you base yourself on facts. You don't just say, oh, today I feel something different kind of way. So if the mask does not stop you from getting the virus, it's not going to all of a sudden change. It's the same virus it was from the very beginning.
It does help you not get the virus. In November, if we still have COVID, Trump's going to lose, man.
All right, well, and the virus ain't going nowhere. Viruses don't just eradicate themselves. Do you think that if we wear the mask, the virus will go away?
Absolutely. Listen, I was looking up some data for
okay.
you, right?
All right.
Listen, Norway, China, there's a whole bunch of countries that have have gotten the virus under control. We're losing.
Okay.
How do you lose to China? How does Trump lose to
So,
China?
okay, do you think that China's giving you accurate numbers?
Okay, Taiwan has the same. Taiwan is the enemy is basically an enemy of China, and they also have the virus under control.
Okay, so how big is Taiwan? How big is Norway?
Those are small countries. Agreed.
All right then. So I mean, I could say that Tennessee has no problem with the virus, the same as Norway. So then we're in the same situation. It's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's compare apple to apple, not some small country, 5 million people to 325 million people. New York City has more people than Norway. You see what I'm saying? So bad comparison. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, appreciate you, man.
All righty, shout out to the caller. But no, I mean, viruses don't go away. Like, let's be clear. The common cold been around for how long? You think if you wear a mask, the common cold will go away? You think the flu's going to go away? It don't work like that. Where they wear masks all the time, like in Japan, they still got viruses. They still had the coronavirus. How'd that happen? You wear a mask all the time. You wearing the mask all the time before the virus hit. Viruses don't go away. It's not how it works. Viruses change. And really, as viruses mutate, they become less deadly because their objective is to survive. And if the host dies and they can't survive, so what we're going to probably see is less deadly virus. Once you get herd immunity, people might catch it and die, but that's just with anything else, like the flu, common cold. You could die from the cold. The cold is a coronavirus too. You just got to catch it. It is what it is. I mean, I feel like most people have already been exposed to it. Once you do more testing, you'll find that out, which is why you having more and more positive cases, less and less deaths. There may be some damage is done to you, but that can be done with anything else. Let me get back to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And shout out to the caller. That was a good call. I appreciate people that challenge. You know, good dude. Shout out to him. All right, let's go. 480, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
This is Marie from Texas, the one that thinks you should run for office, the one that wants to be on your campaign.
All righty. What's going on?
I am calling because I have something I wanted to talk to you about, but the guy just upset me that just called you a minute ago. And he obviously was a hardcore liberal that memorized his talking points, and you can tell because he obviously didn't have any solutions, couldn't provide you anything. If he knew facts and stuff, he would have been able to come back at you. So that was just a telltale sign that he just came at you and he talking points. But anyway, as far as Obama handling situations better and him saying the summit, does he not remember that he also accused the policeman of acting stupidly? My son is a policeman, and that's why I know that that's when all that garbage was targets were put on their backs after that, and it only got worse and stuff, because he didn't try to have a beer summit when you start off calling somebody stupid. So it was just the fact that it was just a photo op for him, and the fact that he made a mess of every situation. As far as him thinking that Trump isn't doing anything, he needs to understand. I guess a lot of people that don't see that he's not doing anything need to look at the fact that he's had The Art of the Deal, his book. I look at it that he's doing the art of war. He's pretty much sitting back, letting every governor take their blame, but at least showing everybody what it would be like to have the Democrats ruling in 2020 to win. All these Democrats are showing their true color of what you'd be living under. And it's just showing the red states from the blue states and how you're handling it. Because if he had done it all himself, then we would be, this just makes people understand how important an election is. So for me, I just think he's allowing people to take their lumps, do what you can. You're a governor of your state. As far as, you having state's powers, why would he have to manage all the children, 50 children, when he's got everybody being able to take care of their own house? And it's just the fact that he does his duty, but he can't do everything. You know, it's just like the beauty shop lady here in Texas that stood her ground, stood up and said, enough is enough. That's what he expects from us. Like, to get to a point, he can't take our hand and make us do that kind of stuff. But I'm sorry, I'm just so wired up here. And as far as that Insurrection Act, he does have power to do that. There are special circumstances, and I'm a paralegal as well too, and it's just to where he can do it if the state isn't managing and taking care of their people, and if they're getting their rights stepped on as far as the protection of the state providing protection for them, then he can do he has an exemption to where he can send in troops, just like Bush did with the Rodney King situation in 1992. And he can do it with him and A.G. Barr can do a proclamation letting the insurgents know that they need to go home and back off. Or if that doesn't work, then he can do an executive order and send in troops. But I don't think he's going to do that. But I can guarantee you he might do it during elections if they start pulling any of this crap, which I think, it's really funny that he's able to twist things around on them because of the fact that, everybody screams, martial law. But now he's allowed them to put the noose around their own neck to where now he can use it against them, like with the statues and stuff, and making things situations where he would be able to because they did it to themselves and stuff. So I just don't think he's going to do it unless the elections are messed with and you have anarchy and stuff then. So, but other than that, I wanted to also say with that COVID, him also talking about the COVID virus, the masks don't help. It's like Dr. Buttar had said, the viruses, and I called in before and I had went through the masks and how Dr. Buttar said that you're activating viruses in you that were never meant to be activated because of cortisol that you're creating from the trouble breathing through those masks. And now you've mobilized viruses that never should have been activated, and now you've compromised your immune system. So I guess he doesn't understand he's got viruses in him. So, and the masks, they say, are just like putting a barbed wire up trying to stop mosquitoes because the virus is 0.1 micron. The best mask is like 0.3 micron. So it's just the fact that, he doesn't understand that the masks aren't doing any good at all. And I don't understand because I feel like I was raised by a force recon Marine, 12 years, Vietnam. And for me, it's just going headstrong through this crap because we're putting masks on again. We're starting to be told again what to do. And it's just the fact that we need to just go through this like every other virus infection and just build up our immunity. Sure, the numbers are going up because everybody's getting, around each other. But if you keep pulling everybody back, we're never going to get to the point to where, the deaths are down. But of course, everybody's going to get infected. If that's what you want, that's what
right.
they tell you to go play in the dirt, things like that.
Exactly, right on point. But I'm gonna cut you off, but I got a lot of calls on the line, so I thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
I need to tell you one thing though.
I have no time. I'm sorry.
No. You need to look at this video though.
Okay, I got you, but I'm sorry, caller. I have to go. Thank you for your call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, shout out to the caller. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off, but I got to go. I got to keep on moving. Thank you for the call. All right, let's get to the next call. 469, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, it's Mike from Texas also.
All righty, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to talk about the zeitgeist, I think, of these calls we're having tonight, apart from everyone being hammered pretty much. I think what we're seeing here is just a lack of accountability. And I'm a lazy guy, too. I'm not some triathlete, but it seems like everybody's running to the government like, well, I need to go get my big brother. These punks in the streets, we should be kicking their ass. The people should be rising up. But the people don't want to rise up because they agree with them. And that's what really bothers me, and that's all I had to say. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thanks for the call. All right. Shout out to the caller. All righty. Let's get to the next call here. 425, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 425. All right. If you're going to call in, you got to be ready to take the call, because you cannot look at the stream because the stream is delayed. The stream won't help you. You got to just be able to be talking on the phone. All right. Let's get to the next call. 786, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
All righty.
786. I mean, y'all gotta do better. Please do not look at the stream to try to answer the call, because you're not going to be able to talk to me at the same time the stream is going. There is a delay. Please have your ear to the phone and be ready to answer the call when I pick up. Okay? If y'all could do that for me, that'd be fantastic. Let's get to the next call. 469, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Hello, who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Skylar. Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
I wanted to talk about the media and Black Lives Matter, right? And you can see how that people, when they look on the media, they see that Black people are the ones being targeted by the police constantly, and this has been seen like a couple years back, right? And statistically, there are different types of races, white, Hispanic, Indian, who also die by police cases. So it doesn't only pertain to Black people.
That's right.
And though there does seem to be higher percentages of deaths in the Black population, typically that's because that crime tends to be higher, and crime is higher where there also tends to be lower income, right? But the only way that Black Lives Matter will be able to simmer down is once the U.S. believes, or like the Black Lives Matter advocates believe that this is no longer an issue when police brutality is dealt with overall. But the problem is they made it a race issue.
Well, see, Black Lives Matter, these people, they were gone. They were doing the same thing in 2016. It was the same exact thing. They were gone for a while. Now they've come back. I feel like it's all about the election. One of the founders of Black Lives Matter came on TV and said that their goal and their objective is to get Trump out of office. This is a political move. Shortly after the election happens, these so-called protests release a bunch of riots and demonstrations paid for by people that are outside sources. Once election is over with, then these little riots be over with as well, because there's no more incentive. You can't get them out of office anymore. People will be tired. It'll start to get cold, and then it'll be done. That's generally how these things go, because it was the same thing going on in 2016. They were gone for a long time, and here they are back again, another election year. That's generally how these things go. It's not even really about police brutality. They don't really care about that, nor is police brutality even really an issue. It's a red herring. It's something that they say to kind of like just hook you in, but it's not really real.
Yeah, and you can also see that when it comes to the statues and national monuments. And I am a young Black American, right? But I simply can't agree with it, because one day my mom, she told me about how they wanted to take down destroy Mount Rushmore, and I was like, no. That was just my first reaction. I was like, no. And then she asked me why, and I said, it's because it's our history. I was like, and it, there is a lot of pride when it comes to knowing how we got to where we got to today. And not only that, but a lot of Black people fought and died, not so that we can just be free, but we can be free Americans. And it's like, you know what I mean? July 4th, I still think that we should love our country as much as we can, because our ancestors wanted to love this country too,
Absolutely, 100%. No country is perfect. No country on earth is perfect, nor do they have perfect origins. But we've come a very long way as this country. We've had ancestors that fought, that died for this country to be the best country on planet Earth. We should be proud of that as Americans, rather than trying to hide our history away, trying to get rid of it. There's no point in doing that. This is what they do over in the Middle East. When the Muslim population comes in and they might want to destroy or conquest, they destroy statues, destroy monuments, destroy prior history to install their own version of what the real history is of their idols and people that they want you to follow behind. That's generally how they work. So we're a proud country. and we are the best country. Let's have all of our history on display because it is what it is. Good, bad, whatever. People's opinion may change, but it is our history. It belongs to us.
Yeah, definitely. And last thing I want to talk about is the election, right, between Trump and Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my dad about this, and he 100% believes that Trump is going to win because of what happened the last elections. And people keep talking about how, like, conservatives or people who want to vote for Trump, they are the silent majority, right? And I can 100% believe that. Now, we look at the polls, and it looks like it's 50-50. But based on history, the people don't say anything on these surveys, but yet they come out once election day comes and they actually vote. So there is a big chance that I do think that there's a huge chance that Trump will become president again, just because that proves to be the case.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, now take care.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the young callers. You guys are great. You know, when I was young like that, I had no idea about politics at all. I was just, just playing basketball or doing other stuff. I ain't even really, So shout out to the young callers. You guys give me hope for the future that people are really paying attention to what's going on, listening to me, and taking some words away and understanding the importance of history. It's really important. So shout out to y'all. All right, 804, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Pat from Virginia.
All righty, what's going on?
Okay, just wanted to say that I am so proud of you. I'm a Virginia girl myself, from Southside Virginia, living in Richmond right now, and black, of course, but it's been the saddest thing to see all the statues torn down here, the constant chaos and rioting, and how our city was allowed to burn for no reason whatsoever. We're in a small city, and I know that the rioting was planned, could have been stopped, should have been stopped, and what's going on over here next door to where you live in Virginia is just unbelievable. The other thing I wanted to say is that I do not believe that they are going to ever, ever, ever permit a debate of any sort between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. It just wouldn't make sense looking at the way Joe Biden responds to anything that anyone would let him debate anybody as savvy as Donald Trump. And it's just sad. It's just sad what's going on. Black Lives Matter, if they stated that their only goal is to get Trump removed from office, then what are they actually trying to do to help black people? You got a group called Black Lives Matter, but during the last 2 weeks, we had 13 killings here in the city of Richmond alone, and one of the group of murders were a pack of 15-year-olds. So I'm not understanding. We've got 3-year-olds getting killed, Baltimore, Chicago, and Black Lives Matter is out there rioting, tearing up cities and tearing up everything, getting on people's property, and the black killing just keeps on going on. So what's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's crazy how you have this group called Black Lives Matter that does not really care about black lives, and nobody really calls them on it. I mean, we call them on it because we know what's going on, but the general media, they don't call them on it. They just pretty much let it go. Their goal is a political one. Their goal is not one about actual black lives. You know, if they really cared, they'd be talking about, like you said, the violence. You got little kids getting killed. You got abortion mills just running rampant. You got all these things happening that are affecting our lives in a negative way. And really, Black Lives Matter itself is hurting black lives by doing all these riots and stuff like that that destroy black areas, that tear down black areas, black businesses, residences, and everything else. So a lot of these people, like locally, I know some of those guys out there, just trying to get some attention, social media clout, as a cool kid say, just trying to get some clicks and views on Instagram, not even really knowing what they're doing, what kind of effect it's going to have. It's really a shame. And a lot of that is about leadership, just letting these things happen like this. It shouldn't be happening. They're tearing down statues on Monument Avenue for no reason. Because I've been down Richmond a lot. You know, I got family right there in Richmond. You know, I'm from Virginia, so I know about it. Nobody really cares about the statues. It wasn't a big thing before, but now all of a sudden it's really popular. It's the cool thing to do, and it's a thing that gets people attention. Now they have a vested interest in it. And I'm asking some of the guys that's out there that I know, I'm like, okay, you took down a statue on Monument Avenue. What's next? I get crickets. It's not even about actual goal to get anything done.
Let me throw this in. I agree with you, but okay, so you do all of this, and then what? Are Black people going to be better off? Are they going to be more employed? Now, you've talked about that money that's being given, poured into Black Lives Matter. Millions, possibly billions of dollars. We don't even know exactly how much money they're taking in. That money apparently is not tracked. I'm afraid that most of it is being used to finance and pay off Democrats or anybody else, people to riot, etc. So here we've got this big thing, gentrification that's going on. I happen to work in housing, and I've been in housing 26 years. I know, and by the way, Tim Kaine is my neighbor. Sorry to say that. Mm-hmm. But nobody ever stands up and says anything about the true and real needs of Black people. Unemployment is one thing. Unemployed is one thing. But here in this city, for many, many years, I remember going out working in the suburbs and working at different places, and I literally had white people laughing at me because I actually lived in the city. Now, for the last 15 years, they've been pouring into the city, pushing Blacks out into the county. The crime is increasing in the county. Schools are getting much worse. You see the effects. And there's no real help for many Blacks who need it. And billions of dollars are out there being used for all sorts of purposes in the name of Black people, our people, but it's not actually going to help them.
Right. Yeah, that's right. It's crazy, but like I said, leadership, that's the key. That's a central part. A lot of these DC people don't really care. They're just trying to advance their career, not really help anybody that they're supposed to help. But hey, thank you for your call. This has been a great one. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Ant, and thank you for all you do.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry, I hung up on her. That's my fault. Shout out to you guys for calling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 210, you're in line. Who am I speaking to? 210, can you hear me? All right, I guess you can't. Sorry about that. It could be my Skype messing up. Let's see if it's my Skype. 516, you're in line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL Live?
Yes, I'm speaking right now to you. What's going on?
How are you doing, my man?
Everything's great. Can't complain. About yourself?
Pretty good. You know, it's funny. I just this was the first time I ever called, and I got you on the first try, bro.
Hey, man, lucky you, because some people are having a hard time getting in. So shout out to you.
Geez, I don't even know what to say now. All I got to say is, man, I love your show. I listen all the time. I really respect everything you're doing.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You know, next time I call, I'll have something prepared, all right? I just want to say that I really appreciate what you do, all right?
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's get to the next call here. 614, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 614, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Yep, no, you got me.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. Jeez, there's quite a delay on that. Hey, about that. Sorry about that. It's actually surprised I got through to you first time calling. So I've been listening to you for about, probably 2-3 months. My main thing is, this is a little out of date here since I was listening to some of your other callers there. What is with all the weenies out there? Come on. Why aren't we going to just vote for Trump? I mean, what the heck is going on? We just kind of turn our backs on him? I mean, what in the heck? I'm part of the silent majority. Many of the people around here in the country, I mean, I'm from Wisconsin, okay? I'm from the Midwest. So I'm probably about, 50, 55 miles from the Twin Cities. And most of the area around here, it's Trump country, for Pete's sake. I mean, people saying, Trump's going to, lose, turn your back. And come on, knock it off. That's all I had to say mainly. I mean, I work in broadcasting, I work in radio. The guy that owns the radio station here in the local area that I live in, he's conservative. I mean, he's got a big, huge Trump sign out front, and it's just ridiculous. The biggest town in my area is about 8,000 people, but I mean, it's Trump country, man. I mean, I don't know how in the heck he's going to lose this.
Hey, I'm in the same boat with you. I don't really see the loss coming. It's so much support for him out there and so little for Joe Biden. I just don't see Biden's path to victory. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't either. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I've been to 2 Trump rallies. I was to one in Eau Claire, which is about 50 or so miles south of where I'm at. And that was before he was elected. It was actually at the college, UW Eau Claire. And, I mean, there was hardly any protesters out there, but shoot, the line was probably 2 miles long. We parked a mile away, had to walk to the end of the line. And then the most recent one was in Duluth, Minnesota, when me and my father went up there and seen him. And, I mean, for Pete's sake, he packed the place. And now that was before Corona, but, this whole thing with the masks and stuff, too. I mean, our local hardware store mandates masks, and if you don't bring one, they'll sell one to you.
Wow.
I mean, you don't bring one, you got to pay $1, and I say to heck with that. I ain't shopping there. I mean, this is ridiculous. Don't they know that these masks don't filter it out? I mean, if you want to filter it out, I guess maybe you should wear an entire rubber suit with its own oxygen supply, for Pete's sake.
That's right. Well, hey, man, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yep, and keep on going, man.
All right, thank you.
Yep, bye.
Hey, he has a good point. Put on a hazmat suit with the oxygen, put the whole thing on. There was a meme I think Donald Trump Jr. had shared where you had these, I think they might have been virologists wearing a full body suit, the entire thing to work with viruses. It's like, okay, that's how these guys are shielding themselves from the virus. But sure, your bandana will work just fine. I thought it was really funny. Let's get to the next call. 210, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name's Michaela, and I am from Texas. Can you hear me?
I hear you well. What's going on?
Okay, that's great. I actually wanted to talk to you about some of these Black Lives Matter, this whole ordeal with police brutality. I have some FBI statistics about it, and I know there's some claims about how they're talking about it, young black males being killed in the rate of genocide, but according to the FBI in 2019, 54% of the statistics say that whites are being killed more, and only 9.8% of whites are unarmed. So, and even then, some of these statistics say, sorry, I'm pulling it up real quick. Let me see. And I am so sorry, I'm stuttering.
Oh, it's all right. Take your time.
Sorry. I've never actually gotten the chance to be able to do this because I'm a little bit young and I haven't gotten the chance to do it,
It's all right. It's all good.
I have it all listed out right here, Anyway, according to the FBI statistics, even some of the officers killed were even African American, including David Dorn from this year and all sorts of different people. So if Black lives really mattered, then why are they going out there and protesting for people like David Dorn and people who, like the EMT who passed away? And I'm still trying to scrounge up information and trying to get a solid opinion on it, and I don't want to overstep my own boundaries on that. But I do kind of think that they aren't composing themselves in a way that's equal for all situations. like the situation with the EMP, the situation with David Dorn, which I didn't even see for 30 seconds when I watch the news every day, every morning, from my local news, from all of my news, you know, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's not really important to people that are, you know, mainstream media. That's not really the story to them. You know, 77-year-old black man gets shot and killed over a flat screen TV during a Black Lives Matter riot kind of goes against their narrative about Black Lives Matter being some kind of benevolent thing. They'll talk about wearing the mask and how important it is and how dangerous you are if you don't wear a mask when it comes to a Trump rally. But then when it comes to a Black Lives Matter event with 25,000 people, oh, it's no real big deal. They can go out there, loot, shoot, rob, steal, kill. It's no big deal. So they're all about just trying to protect their narrative.
Absolutely. There's also, I wanted to talk about COVID I have some personal situations where it's my mother. She works in a manufacturing plant down here in Texas, and she has massively hardcore restrictions. They use huge, they use entire body entire body suits and face masks and a mask under these face masks. It's insane. And some of the things that I've seen is my mom comes home just sweating and tired, and she's seeing all of this situations, and they're basically making her have to go through all of this stuff, even though some of the things I'm seeing on from you guys and from everybody else says that these masks don't work. And according to things to things like the plague, you know, how plague doctors had these masks, and those masks kind of amplified the humidity to their face, amplifying the virus, and they would get immune, but they basically they were the ones who kind of spread the plague themselves in them going into these houses. So isn't that the same situation that's going on here with these masks? Isn't this kind of just the same thing, just with different types of masks?
That's what it seems like to me. I mean, and then beyond that, people are having other issues. They're having breathing complications because you're supposed to be able to breathe in oxygen and breathe out CO2. That should be your waste product that you breathe out. But you're not able to do that properly if you have a mask on all day. Then they're talking about you get mask breath. If your breath is altered because of your mask, that means that you're breathing in bacteria you shouldn't be breathing in. Therefore, your mask could be making you sick itself. They say that it's to, you know, slow the spread of the virus. That might be sort of effective to a certain extent, but not really. Even if it was, you still have other issues that you're dealing with. You're trying to solve one issue, but now you've created a bunch of other issues that got to be dealt with because there are still other diseases you can catch. It's not just coronavirus and that's it. There are still other things you got to deal with. So the whole mask thing, I think, will be looked upon in history as not a good thing, probably a bad way to try and get through this whole process. But hey, thank you for the call. I got to wrap it on up here. So thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you. All right now.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank y'all for being here. I got super chats on that, but that'll be a wrap for calls. If you didn't get in, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Blame the white man. But no, seriously, it was a lot of calls tonight. The phone lines are really jumping. So if I kind of brush you off the phone, like I said, it's not my fault. It's just a lot of calls. And I still had a bunch of calls just right now in the queue. I just couldn't get to everybody. But thank you all for everybody that kept calling 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. I'm going to try to fix that maybe in the future. I don't know. But that's best I can do for right now. Let me see. Let's get super chats and then I'll wrap it on up, put a bow on the top. Let's go back to about 9 p.m. And thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you've not liked the video, go ahead and do that for me right now. And if you are not subscribed, you're a first-time viewer or whatever the case may be, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now and click that bell as well. When you click that bell, you're able to get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. All right, and let's go to, let me see, Aunt Remus, who says, this is my first, okay, I read that one. Thank you to, let me see where I left off. Thank you to TJL, who says, love you, brother. Happy 4th. Peace and blessings. All lives matter. All races are God's children. America is God's country. Trump 2020, Kanye Owens 2024. Thank you to, let me see, where was I at last? Okay, thank you to New Wave Bossa Nova for the donation that says good luck. Thank you to TTB for the dancing party emoji. Thank you to Chris Prito for the donation that says Pelosi and her nephew Newsom have killed California. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you to Nippon, who says happy 4th of July, ABL. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Good Bad, who says let's not lose focus. Exactly. Let's stay right on point. Thank you to Lynn C, who says, becoming ABL superstar. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you to Terry Irwin, who says happy Independence Day. Thank you for that. Thank you to Pamela for your donation. Thank you to MAF Reactions, who says thoughts on the Washington Redskins having to change their name. And that's crazy. I mean, the Redskins been the Redskins for a long time. I never thought nothing of it. You know, growing up in Virginia, that was like everybody's team, the Redskins. A lot of black folks had on Redskins gear, and they diehard Redskins fans. Now they got to change. So are the black folks that enjoy the Washington Redskins, are they racist now? Is Doug Williams the first black quarterback ever to win a Super Bowl? Is he a racist too for playing for the Washington Redskins? You know, see what I'm talking about? This is history we're dealing with here. You're just trying to change history. And really what's going on with the Redskins is that they're being pressured by the corporate sponsors. That's, you know, where the butter is being, where the bread is being buttered. And that's why they're talking about changing the name. It's really unfortunate, but some of the times, you know, it's kind of how that goes. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says, love your show. Your chat is dumb, I guess you wanted to say. It's foolish to assume that fake news, grand juries, crooked FBI, and useful idiot protesters aren't a threat to Trump. Well, hey, I mean, it was the same thing going on in 2016, and look what happened. You see how that worked out. The media said 98% chance Hillary's going to win, and Hillary was a better candidate than Trump. I mean, not Trump. She was a better candidate than anybody on the left, not better than Trump. And you see that she lost. And look at Joe Biden, who is looking terrible right now. He's going to lose to Trump as well. And it's spectacular. We're talking about Walter Mondale type proportions. It may look bad to people that are nervous about Trump having to succeed over all these obstacles, but I think people are just overreacting. Thank you to you out, who says Virginia governor has just passed a law where vehicles have to yield to pedestrians on a highway. What? Pedestrians on a highway? Excuse me? So basically, I can just waltz on I-64 and I got to yield to somebody on the highway? Really? How does that make any sense? You know, I'm going 95 miles an hour or 65, wink, wink, and I got to yield to you if you're just strolling across. That's crazy. Shout out to Kathy's Happy for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to RDX with the emoji of the, 4th of July, dancing behind the bill. Thank you for that. Thank you to James Joyner for becoming an ABL supporter. And thank you to James Joyner for upgrading to the ABL squad. Thank you to Jay Case, who says happy 4th. Thanks. I'm on the coast of the Silicon Valley. I posted in the group of 30,000 on Facebook about how the Democrats left me. Go red. To my shock, 200 upvotes and everyone follow and agree. This is a liberal pit. Thank you to Snatcher Klaus, who says, even if you feel alone, stand strong, 1,000%. Thank you to Bill Taggart, who says, AB, I need a pair of flags on my wall like that. Oh, yeah, I answered that earlier. These flags that you see on the wall behind me, these are available through the description box below. Check out the little thing where it says wooden flags. Get your flags right there whenever you're ready to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Thank you to... That's a great donation, too. The actual donation from Bill Taggart was $17.76. All righty. Let me see. Let me go back to where I was. I'm losing my spot here. Okay. There we go. And thank you to Goulet Youssef, who says, former liberal introduced into politics by Trevor Noah, pushed to the right by ABL this year after Biden got chosen by the DNC, Trump 2020. Hey, thank you for that, man. Welcome to the side. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Thank you to CHAZ Fate, who says, Trump 2020, 434-658-1220. Busy question. Favorite motivational speaker, hobby, if time, iPhone or Android, thoughts on China surveillance. Motivational speaker, I'm not really sure. I like C.T. Fletcher when he was really rocking and rolling, had that real strong voice. It's a lot of guys I'm having a hard time thinking about right now, kind of drawing the blank. But, you know, if you got that strong voice, if you can be, you know, just Trump really is a good motivational speaker, in my humble opinion. A lot of guys like that with strong voices. Hobby. If I got time, I like to play basketball, golf. If I have time, which I have like very little. I like the game as well. Like I like the game because I can do it in a short amount of time. I might have like 30 minutes. You know, like I'm kind of like that right now at this particular point. iPhone and Android, I actually have both, but I prefer iPhone. Not iPhone, pardon me. I prefer Android because iPhone is too much of a walled garden for me. But I do enjoy the iPhone, but Android is really my go-to. It's more flexible, and I like being able to have that. I have a PC as well, so I don't, need an iPhone. Thoughts on China surveillance? That's what they do. Chinese spies, that's just a kind of a stereotype at this particular point in time. Thank you to Zardrell, says long time no see. ABL, welcome back to the channel, boss. Thank you to Romans 9, who says common sense is not common anymore. Therefore, many of us suffer. Happy Independence Day, ABL. Thank you for being a voice of reason. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Romer Miktal, who says, hey, ABL, thanks again for taking my call. Just one other thing. Did you think Maxwell will end up Epstein, or will they learn from before and find a way to keep her away from the deep state? That's a good question. I think that they're going to try to find a way to keep it from the deep state, but she could end up Epstein. I think I lean more towards them protecting her rather than her end up dead. So hopefully, they do that. Thank you to Joseph Z for the donation that says, hey, you. Thank you to Joseph Z who says, I can't think. Thanks, ABL. Thank you to Jive Turkey who says, ABL is my new therapy channel for 2020. And I hope I can hire you to wrap my Christmas gifts. Put them bows on top, huh? Thank you for that. Thank you to Stuart Square or Schwer for your donation with the thumbs up. Thank you to Zardrell for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to my man Killer Sushi 99 who says, happy 4th of July, ABL. I've been outside shooting off fireworks, the rockets, red glare, and bomb bursting in air over here. Trump had a great speech at Mount Rushmore. He triggered the French cringe. Hilarious. I'm going to use that. French cringe. I like that one. Shout out to Manny Martinez for the donation of the thumbs up. Thank you to Joseph Z who says, keep it up with the workout emoji. Thank you to Zardrell who says, I got called on Uncle Tom today. Hey, man, you know what? People that say that, if you hear that, if you hear anybody say Uncle Tom in a pejorative fashion, they just ignorant. So you know already from the beginning that somebody, they're dealing with half a glass of water. They're a few fries short of a Happy Meal. They're not really a full playing card full to make a deck. You understand? So they're not really on point. You're on point, though. Thank you to Snatcher Claus who says, never compromise with Marxists. Love USA or get out. 1,000%. Thank you to Valerie Rogers who says, put on the full armor of God. Thank you to Ray Mechanics for the thumbs up. Thank you to 4602 who says, happy 4th, Patriots. Thank you to Laura Cochran for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Frank G who says, did you see Kanye West just announced he's running for president? I saw that. We'll see how that goes. Thank you to Zardrell who says, engage them via prison. Talk about BLM, because somebody said, hey, are we going to engage BLM? Can we just, engage them via prison? Thank you to Joseph Z for the emoji donation. Thank you to JDWJC11 who says we should ban English language due to white supremacy. That's next. Hey, they already say that. Somebody, I remember I did the video for Jubilee earlier this year. You guys may have seen that. I flew to LA, the whole thing, paid for it myself, paid for my hotel, all that. I didn't get paid for it at all. I just wanted to be there just to be the voice of reason because I knew it was going to be some kind of people that weren't really on point. But anyway, somebody, I think it was one of my people that was a conservative with me, Lady Cage. She was like, English should be the language that we speak in America. You in America speak English. And people kind of like gasped. It was an audible gasp in the room. I'm like, really? Is that controversial? Is that a hot take to say you got to speak English in America? And when I went to the comment section, it was the same thing. Like, people were really upset that somebody said you got to speak English in America. It's like, come on, what are we doing? All right. Thank you to We the People who says, no, talking about engaging BLM. Thank you to Echo X who says, Kanye announced running for president. Thank you to Mike who says, masks are to block the carry out the virus directly. When people sneeze and cough, moisture becomes airborne. It's a precaution with Lama Sanitation. Happy 4th. Thank you to Arya167 for the thumbs up emoji. Thank you to Abraham who says, racism is the marketing campaign while Marxism is the actual product. There you go. Boom. Very good. I'm going to steal that one too. Consider that stolen. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you for your donation as well. Thank you to Adam Mazars. I know I butchered that, and I'm sorry, who says, thank you, sir, for being a strong voice of reason and liberty. Thank you to Rascal77S, who says, drink woman more coherent than Biden, or drunk woman more coherent than Biden. Thank you to Angel Jack, who says, is BLA is a black woman that, wow. I mean, I don't know what that says. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure it out, but I just don't get it. Thank you to Senator Siblings, who says the NFL plan to play the black anthem at the start of each season, each game in the first week of the season. How quickly will the virtue signaling players and spectators boycott the song when they realize it's also a pro-Republican song? That's funny. You know what? I think they might end up just, biting that bullet. But what they're going to do, what people may not realize, is that they're going to kneel not for the black anthem. They'll stand for the black anthem, but they'll kneel for the national anthem. Look for that. That'd be controversial when it happens. And you heard it here first. Thank you to Michelle Best, who says, thanks, ABL. Your straight talk and honesty makes everything we're going through bearable. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I'm glad I could be that light in your life. Thank you to Anna Rodriguez, who says, I'm worried because I want to audition next year to be an NFL cheerleader. If I make it, I don't feel comfortable pledging to a new anthem. Thoughts? Oh, man. That's rough. I'm not sure how they're going to even do that. So I don't know. I think that they're not going to replace the national anthem, but this whole black anthem before the regular anthem is just kind of weird. And I'm not even sure how you're going to, do you pledge to it? Because it's not really, they say it's a black national anthem, but it's not really an anthem. That's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. So hopefully you make it. And once you're in there, just, navigate the best way possible. Thank you to our you know what your name is, sir or ma'am. Happy 4th of July from Canada. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Charles Turner Jr. Hold on, let me go back up to where I was at. Who says, how can anyone expect lockdowns to be followed again by people after the nonsense by Black Lives Matter and Antifa rioters and looters? The knuckleheads standing on the interstate were lost already. Exactly. Thank you to Max Dominguez, who says, happy 4th, keep on rocking. Thank you for that. Thank you to Joyce, who says, who's really pulling the puppet strings in the Democrat globalist side? Very good question. I wonder. Thank you to Jack Bacon, who says, maybe they should change the Redskins name to the Orange Skins and have a cartoon Trump as a mascot. Hilarious. Shout out to Michael Rodriguez, who says, you need to educate callers like the Trump isn't doing anything. Caller represents all those misinformed. Good point. Thank you for that. Hopefully I was able to, counteract some of these points that were being made. Thank you to Cross, who says, disappointed with GOP, held House, Senate, and presidency first 2 years and 0 pro-gun bills passed, more gun control under Trump than Obama. Sad. I'm not sure if that's correct about more gun control under Trump than Obama. But thank you for your donation. Thank you to Good Bad, who says, do not believe the main media outlets that have an agenda. Don't get discouraged. The news has an agenda. Remember that. The silent majority is not going anywhere. Trump 2020. Exactly. The silent majority is growing too. I get DMs every day, messages every day from people that just came to the right. I don't really get many from those that are leaving. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on with that. Thank you to Apu Bakr Al Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, Marvel or DC? Marvel all day long. Marvel all day long. DC has deeper characters, in my humble opinion, but Marvel has better variety and more entertaining characters. Okay. Thank you to Good Bad, who says, help them understand the battle, ABO. Trump is going to win in doing what he can versus not doing anything. The news is not telling you the moves he is making to make this country great because it hurts their agenda. That's right. Thank you to Uncle Ben, who says, forgot to say in my call, happy 4th, ABO. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Apu Bakr Al Puff Daddy, who says, hey, ABL, SNL Alec Baldwin did Trump, but Leslie Jones never did Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, Frederica Wilson. What gives? Hey, you know what? That's a good question. I guess those people are pretty much off limits. Thank you to Good Bad, who says, watch Officer Tatum's video on CNN coverage of Trump versus Bernie at Mount Rushmore. I saw some of that. I didn't see Tatum's video yet, but I saw some of what they were saying about Bernie. And Bernie was like, oh, this is a great feat. This is a great thing. But then when it came to Trump, all of a sudden it's racist just a few years later. So I think we all know that CNN is fake at this particular. Nobody here thinks that CNN is real news. And I've told you guys how much I hate them. From the top to the bottom, from the Twitter to the Twitter, I hate them. I hate the CEO, Jeff Zucker. I hate Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, everybody. I hate. I cannot stand. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says Hillary only had a 4-point lead, Biden has a 12-point lead. I mean, but remember last time they said there was no chance Trump could win. So what makes you think that these same people aren't making the books cooked even more? Think about it. I mean, the books were cooked last time and it didn't work. So they're saying, okay, let's ramp it up a little bit and make it happen like that. Come on. And then when he has debates, come on, man. Like, let's be for real. Thank you to Wayne Blaylock for the donation. Thank you to Asa Zanka for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Killfish99 who says, real quick, ABL checkout, Barricade Garage, too funny. And thank you to Gail Evoy for your donation. I definitely appreciate you guys. And that'll be a wrap for me. Again, thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to all the moderators doing what you do. We got True Helper, Elijah Jean, Bill from the Hills, Killer Sushi, Michelle A, Shreeves, True Helper. All you guys that are here, you do a fantastic job keeping them trolls in check. Kim Bone, I see you, boss. Thank you for your help. You guys are fantastic. Thank you to all the PayPalers, all the super chatters, all the the Patreoners, all the viewers, subscribers, listeners, retweeters, sharers, likers, subscribers. Thanks to all you guys. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. And if you are subscribed or not, and the bell is not clicked, go ahead and click that bell because you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. The bell is right beside the subscribe button. Click that for me. That'll just do me wonders. All right. Time for me to go. I'm stuttering and stuff. So until next time, which will be Wednesday, I'm live again. And then I'm again live on Thursday on Brandon Tatum's channel from 8 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Eastern to Wednesday. And then the Thursday show is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm also live again Saturday, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. All right, that's a wrap for me. Thank you for being here. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.